2001 Minto Cup. The question is, even though the Burnaby Lakers have written SOS in the sand, will help arrive in time? We'll find out next live from the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena in St. Catharines. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan. We are anticipating one heck of a battle tonight in game number 6. The Burnaby season is on the line. St. Catharines can wrap up their first national title here tonight in front of a very boisterous home crowd since 1991. Andrew, it's going to be a great game tonight. It's been a great series so far, but ever since game number 3, the A's have just been a-rolling.
Well, one thing that we've noticed in the last couple of games, the last 3 games actually, the crowd's been getting more and more into it. Tonight, that's going to be a huge factor, as when I arrived here at 5 o'clock, actually, people were already coming up asking me if I was selling tickets. The Gadders Pro Shop down the street sold out of tickets today for the first time all week. People have been dying to get in this building. These parking lots have been full. We're going to see a much different crowd tonight than what we've seen the entire series, and I think that's going to help the A's out a lot.
And that says a lot because there have been very good crowds in the first 5 games of this national final. We'll see how much bigger it is tonight. I expect a sold-out Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena, and as Andrew mentioned, that certainly plays in the favor of the St. Catharines Athletics. What else plays in the favor of the St. Catharines A's is Matt Vince. He has played outstanding throughout this series, and Matt Vince so far has been the difference. The goaltending, which for Burnaby was good in the first couple of games, has all of a sudden become shaky.
Well, one of the things that we mentioned last night during the broadcast was on the first shots, Andrew Lachon and Matt Vince have been playing each other fairly evenly. Andrew Lachon's having a lot of trouble corralling those second shots. It's turning into second scoring chances. Lachon and Burnaby have to figure out whether he's going to control the ball or their defense is going to come back and pick these up. Because if they can't do that, St. Catharines is going to keep scoring those key goals, and that's going to be the difference tonight.
I spoke to a member of the St. Catharines Athletics coaching staff who got word secondhand that Burnaby's just bored. They've been stuck in that hotel for a week now. They've got nothing to do. They want to go home. Obviously, they don't want to go home without that Minto Cup that belongs to them at this point, but it's going to be a very high hill to climb for the Burnaby Lakers.
Well, that is a big struggle that you have when you spend this much time away from home. On the other hand, they'd much rather stay until Sunday and take a trophy home with them than they would leave tomorrow and just get this all over with. So hopefully the coaching staff is in that dressing room right now getting that thought out of their heads. Because if you're going to think like that coming into the game, you might as well just leave now, hand them the trophy, save us all 3 hours.
We've done so much talking about Craig Kahn throughout this series, and we're not going to stop talking about him now. He's been so impressive, playing such disciplined lacrosse. He's got a couple of guys on him every time he grabs that ball. Will that discipline hold up tonight? We think so, but we're going to have to wait and see. Coming up next live from St. Catharines, it's game number 6 of the 2001 Minto Cup. The A's going for the national title tonight.
We're Cogeco, your cable company, and we bring you a whole lot of entertaining and exciting programs from around the world. But you've told us that all your local news, weather, sports, and community events are just as important to you. And so we work hard to make sure that you always have the best of both, from around the world and around the corner. After all, isn't that the beauty of having cable in the first place? Cogeco, taking you there.
The Burnaby Lakers, defending Minto Cup championship holders, will have a battle on their hands tonight. The St. Catharines Athletics have won 4 Minto Cups, those coming in 1947, 1950, and then the back-to-back ones in 1990 and 91. Let's throw a championship in 1904 in there as well. St. Catharines 5-time Minto Cup champions. They're going for their 6th title here tonight against the Burnaby Lakers. Hello everybody, Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan for the call live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. And Andrew, as we touched on our intro, Andrew Leishon will be the key tonight for the Lakers. He has to play better than he has in the last 3 games.
And again, a point I've been stressing repeatedly is that he's playing very well in terms of his positioning and stopping the balls, and most of the time that's all you have to do. Problem is, 1 or 2 times a game at very crucial moments, he's letting that ball get away from him, letting St. Catharines pick up that rebound and score those goals that you don't like to get in those kinds of positions. He's got to stop that tonight. He's got to know where that ball is at all times if they're going to pull this out and take it to a Game 7.
And if you look in the program for the Minto Cup, it lists St. Catharines as 4-time Minto Cup champions, but actually, back in 1905, the Shamrocks won just the 4th Minto Cup championship. So if you count that one in, St. Catharines is tied with Burnaby for Minto Cup wins. The Lakers are defending champions, but St. Catharines can take a step ahead of that tonight if they get the victory.
I'm sure that doesn't matter at all in the minds of these kids. They want to win 1 game, and if a Minto Cup comes with it and they make people from 1904 proud, they'll be very happy with it.
Not too many of those people around. St. Catharines, as you can see, sporting the blue road jerseys tonight for game number 6. Burnaby has the home whites on. And will now break for the playing of the Canadian National Anthem as performed by Jen Adams. The historic Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena is jam-packed tonight as the St. Catharines Junior A Athletics have a chance to wrap up their first national title in 10 years. Hello everybody and welcome back. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan for the call live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Tonight's starting goaltenders for the St. Catharines Athletics. Wearing number 48, it's showtime. Matt Vince, he has been spectacular so far in this series. And for the Burnaby Lakers, playing in his 6th game of this series, wearing number 00 is Andrew Leishon. The A's, wearing the blues, will move from right to left on your television here in the opening period. Burnaby with the whites moves from left to right, and we are underway in game number 6. Athletics again win the face-off, and it's Pat Russell. He has been the master of face-offs in this series. There's Sean Greenhall. Again, staying with that neon green shirt underneath his jersey. Andrew, I think it's brought him some good luck.
Well, whatever it's doing, I think it's loaded with anti-kryptonite, actually. He's having a very good series so far. Let's hope it continues tonight.
Billy D. Smith gets it up high. A's have 5 on the shot clock on their first possession. Flores taken down hard in front, and Leishon will pick up the loose ball. 19:24 to go in the opening period. Still no score in game 6. Here's Kevin Fines. One of the keys tonight for Burnaby. Fines hammered from behind by John Donnelly. Now Billy D. Smith trying to lumberjack that ball away. And finally Donnelly able to grab it, and he's got it. He'll fake the pass down the floor, gets it ahead now to Greg Flores, who was all alone, but the pass does not work, and the Lakers will take over. Here's Gary Binning. He was the key to game number 5 for the Burnaby Lakers. Even in the loss, Gary Binning played very, very well.
Breakout performance by him. Fortunately, it wasn't enough for Burnaby. They're going to look for him to add it, as well as Plunkett, Fines, and Olsen and the like to also get moving.
They're going to need everybody contributing here tonight. Now Gaichin, pick shot, they score! Kevin Hansen on a pass from in behind the face has given Burnaby the lead just 1 minute and 21 seconds into the opening period.
Very much like the kind of play that we said St. Catharines was victimizing Burnaby with as this series went along. Shot goes a bit wide. Defense looking around for the ball as Burnaby throws the offense forward. So you can see Hansen here. Now he comes in with a quick shot after they pick up that rebound from behind the net. Caught them a bit off guard, and that's what they're going to want to watch out for here, is Burnaby's going to be looking for different kinds of ways to score, because so far it hasn't been working what they've been trying.
Andrew, I watched both teams in the warm-ups, and Burnaby looked very, very sharp, so if that's any indication, we should be in for one whale of a battle here from the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena. A's right back down the floor. Here's Greenhall. Lines a low shot in. LeSean able to knock it down with a big goal stick. Now moves it up the near side. Taylor Ray will lead the rush for Burnaby. 18:07 now to go in the opening period. Lakers lead the A's 1-0. Lindsey Plunkett up high. I'm sure they'll try to get him the ball many, many times here tonight. Taylor Ray still has it far corner. Lakers have 10 on the shot clock. They get it inside. Pass though goes astray into the near corner. Picked up there. Sneaking out in front is Matt Brown. Quick shot coming from Taylor Ray right into the chest of Matt Vince just as the shot clock expired, and the A's will take over.
Bit of a tussle going on there between Levesque and Kevin Fines. That's one I'd pay to see, actually. I think these two would go for quite a while.
Vince gets the ball ahead, just over mid-floor to the captain, Bowman. Now it goes into the corner. Hamanuk sneaks back up high. A's have 13 on the shot clock. Here's Mark Paniccia. Paniccia looking for a lane to get in front. Instead, he's hammered back up high. Gets it far side for Mike Hamanuk. 5 on the shot clock. Hamanuk looking for a lane. Winds the shot in. Tried going 5-hole on LeSean. But again, the goal stick in the proper position. And so far, and I know we're only 3 minutes into game number 6, Andrew LeSean seems a lot more solid than he has in the last 3 outings.
Both shots has been in the right place. That's a good start. It might be early.
Quick shot and they score! And Matt Vince still trying to figure out where that came from. Vince was looking to his left. The ball was to his right. And it was a wide open net for the Burnaby Lakers, who take a 2-0 lead just 3 minutes and 1 second in.
I was watching the play. I didn't see where it happened. Gary Binning over on the right side putting a good fake on. So there's Vince looking right over at Binning. As Binning's got him totally faked out. You can see right there. There's it right by him. Vince is looking at Binning the entire time.
He's still
over
looking
on the left-hand side. Ball's behind him. He's still looking. So give Gary Binning credit on that.
Great fake by Gary Binning. And for the second time tonight, we've got a goal from Kevin Hansen. And the Lakers lead 2-0. 16:42 is the time to go here in the opening period. Here's Brown. Near side, Lindsey Plunkett lost control. Matt Vince grabs it with his left hand and then drops it into the goal stick. Vince moves it ahead. Here's Pat Russell. A's making wholesale changes. John Greenhall now will walk it over top of mid-floor before dropping it off to Billy D. Smith. Now back to Greenhall, far half boards. Greenhall gets it up high. Greg Flores now near side to brother Jamie. Craig Kahn gets the pass to the corner, looking for a lane, winds the shot in, and he just missed the near post. And Craig Kahn didn't have a lot of room there, Andrew, but that is about as much as he has had the whole series.
That's Kahn's forte, is creating a lot of room out of nothing. Turned that into a pretty good scoring chance, and unfortunately threw it just wide by the post.
Lakers right back in, quick shot by Olsen. That one goes off Vince's right shoulder. Rory Glaves gives him a couple of shots after the play. A's grab the ball and will move it back up to mid-floor. Here's Jay Levesque. 15:45 to go in the period. 2-0, Burnaby leads it. Derek Wheels alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Strennan for the call. Live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Tim Ham. Fires it to Greenhall. Has a lane. Winds the shot in. And the A's have patented that play to Greenhall, who comes off the bench late.
Nice looking play there for Bowman, too. Greenhall really just trying to get that towards the net as the shot clock was running out. Turned it into a decent shot. Once again, LeSean having trouble stopping it in front of him for a shot that he could see the whole time.
I spoke with Dave Bowman, the sniper, before tonight's game, so we'll see that piece a little later on this evening. I asked him if he felt like he was blessed offensively in this series, and he said, yeah, I do. I'm getting some chances.
Well, he's certainly playing a much more pivotal role on the St. Catharines offense than we've seen all year. Throwing his body down there. He's doing a pretty good job of offsetting a very tough Burnaby D.
Quick pass into Brown. Bounces right back into the corner. Slipping as he tried to cut in was Kevin Fines. Loose ball now into the corner. Bowman trying to knock it away. Fines though, grabs it, takes it in behind the A's goal. Knocked away from him by Donnelly. There's 12 seconds on the shot clock, but we've got a stoppage in play and a penalty on the way, and it's going to go against the Burnaby Lakers. And Taylor Ray, so the A's will get their first power play of the night.
Ray draped all over Matt Skinner in front of the net. The two of them, this is more a retaliation type call as Ray's getting tied up a bit in front of the net with Skinner. And unfortunately, as Bill Fox turned around, he saw the last shot of the entire ensemble of melees. Huh?
Very good.
Yeah, that was nice. As a result, Taylor Ray is going to sit there for 2 minutes and feel bad about it.
And we'll see if this power play can get the 3,500 plus here at the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena back into this game, because Burnaby's done a great job so far in the first, keeping them quiet. There's Sean Greenhall. A's get their top power play in and out there. Kahn, Greenhall, Panicia, Mike Hominick, and Greg Flores. Hominick now up high to Greenhall. A's with 13 on the shot clock. Hominick far side, looking for a lane towards the net. Gets it back to Greenhall. Now near side, Panicia bounces one in, but that was way wide of the near post. Rebound all the way out to mid-floor. The shot clock's going to expire on the Athletics as Hominick touches up outside the St. Catharines bench, but Burnaby will take over possession. Quick pass down the floor up the right-hand side. Here's Hansen looking for the hat trick. He's got 2 already tonight. Near corner, Gary Binning. He has been a spark plug for Burnaby in the last couple of games. So much speed, so elusive. You see it on this play, trying to get around Pat Russell. Now Binning, lane to the net. It's knocked away at the last moment, and a great job by the combo of Pat Russell and Billy D. Smith to get that ball out of Binning's stick, because he had all kinds of room.
Bit of a mistake there by Pat Russell, though, to go for the stick check in the first place. He had his body in the right position to keep Binning from getting to the net. And instead he tried to go for the stick check and let Binning get by him. Fortunately, he recovered in plenty of time.
A's with 45 seconds on the power play. Shot by Panicia, knocked wide by LeSean. Panicia gets the rebound, goes far side. Here's Hominick, shoots, and he just missed the near post. A's starting to go at that man advantage going. Here's Greenhall back up high. 30 seconds to go with the power play, and here comes the crowd. Greenhall winds the shot in, and it goes off the end boards. The fans thought it got by LeSean, but it bounced off the glass and hit the back of the Burnaby goal. Here's Plunkett, back down the floor, fakes once, fakes twice, big save by Matty Mintz.
Very huge try by McKinnon to run into Matt Mintz. But Plunkett showing a very nice move there. Steenhouse tracked him down. Plunkett put that one extra move when it looked like it was going to be a huge collision, and instead he backed away from it.
Here's Greenhall again as the St. Catharines power play expires. Low shot, stopped by LeSean. He's got no idea where it is. It's underneath him, and the Lakers will pick it up. 12:38 now to go in the opening period. 2-0. Burnaby leads it. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Dredden for the call. Live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Craig Kahn. It's it ahead. Now Tony Printup has stepped into a nice role for the A's in this series since taking over for Mike Longboat. Now far side. Here's Hominick looking for a lane. A's have 13 on the shot clock. Hominick spins back into the far corner. One-handed pass in front. Bowman comes leaping in, but he can't sneak it by LeSean. Back down the right side. Here's Lemke. Hasn't seen a lot of time in this series. Out there now, though. Brown now into the near corner. Binning can't handle the pass. Craig Kahn picks up the loose ball. He's had so many of those loose balls so far in the series, Andrew, and that's one of the little things that might not get a lot of notice, but is very, very important.
Certainly, Craig Kahn's got 30 loose balls so far in 6 games. He's 4th in the series and 2nd on the team. And he's really all over the ball this series.
Here's Steenhouse into Greenhall, taking the shot, but that's off the right leg of LeSean. Rebound is Steenhouse again. This time, LeSean able to knock it away. Carrying the ball down the right side, up the floor for Burnaby. Here's Jeff Snyder. Now 11.5 to go in the first period. Lakers with 20 on the shot clock. Nate Adgeich works it far side. Holding on to it there, Curtis Hodgson. Hodgson gets it near side. Now Lindsey Plunkett bowling his way in. Takes the shot down low, but Matt Vince able to grab that with the goal stick and quickly move it back down the floor. Here's Kevin Dean. Gets it ahead to Greenhall. A's working this bench situation very well. They've seemed to have figured it out here, Andrew. These benches on opposite sides, very unusual for lacrosse, but both teams, I think, by this point in the series have certainly adjusted.
One thing we've noticed, there haven't been nearly 3
Scores! Craig Kahn does it again, bouncing the shot just inside the near post, and the A's are within one.
Well, who needs breakaways when you can play the half-floor offense that well? Bring the ball down, get your team out on the floor, get yourself set up. Smith up at the top, puts it over. Now Kahn's starting to break towards the middle of the net. And here's the perfect pass by Flores as Kahn manages to get by the defender. Leishon, it's a bit too late when he tries to get out and meet Kahn. Kahn scores his 7th goal of the series now. So, as we were just mentioning, can basically do just about anything. And he's showing that again tonight, doing a good job picking up the loose ball down on one end that started that possession, and then finishing it at the other.
10:52 is the time to go in the opening period from the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena in St. Catharines. Burnaby jumped out to the 2-0 lead, but the A's have come back on a Craig Kahn goal and trailed 2-1. And certainly, we've kept a close eye on the team that scores the first goal of the game. Now, in the first 4 games of this series, Andrew, the team that scored first won. But last night, that trend ended. Burnaby scored first. St. Catharines comes back to earn the victory. Burnaby took a 2-0 lead tonight. I wonder if we'll see pretty much the same thing.
I think St. Catharines showed something last night by battling back as the entire game went along until they took the lead. And I think they're looking at that as a couple of goals. One that was a beautiful trick play. They're going to try and forget them. They're not going to win this game 2-1. So let's just do it 1 goal at a time and see if we can fight back here.
Here's Sean Greenhall working his way up the right wing. Stops, bottom of the far circle. Now gets it up. Kevin Dean high on the slot. Back to Dave Bowman. Now Greenhall looking for a lane, spins in, has some room, takes the shot as he's taken down, but he stepped in the Burnaby crease, so the Lakers will take over. But Schneider all over Sean Greenhall inside that Burnaby crease, and no call from the official. Greenhall was hoping for one, but won't get one.
Well, when you step anywhere near the blue area, you're basically an open target. So a good non-call on Schneider there by the referee.
Here's Lindsey Plunkett. Lakers with 16 on the shot clock. Wild shot comes in. It's corralled by Matt Vince. Works it down the floor. Has Billy D. Smith. Here's Smith in. Makes one move. Cuts to the low slot. Now he retreats back as the A's are looking to make a line change. 9:50 to go in the period. St. Catharines trailing by 1. Printup bowling his way through. Panacea has it up high. Now far side Russell. He'll drop it off to Mike Halmanock, far half boards. Halmanock back to Panacea. Panacea trying to use that speed. Dumps it off to Printup. He couldn't handle the pass though. He does grab the loose ball in the corner and bounce it back to Panacea, but the shot clock will expire on St. Catharines.
St. Catharines looking to settle down a bit here after that initial flurry by Burnaby. But Burnaby's offense is being a lot more effective than we've seen the last couple of games, getting towards Matt Vince and getting those shots off. So St. Catharines defense going to want to try to step up here again.
Big shot in. Matt Vince knocks it wide. While we've got a second, we'd like to throw a big shout out to Joyce Dawkin, 76 years old, Andrew. She's been to every single athletics game since 1991. Not feeling that well tonight, so she decided to stay home and watch it on TV, which of course we encourage. So a big hello to Joyce.
It's much cooler where you are, Joyce, than it is in here, believe me.
A's back into the offensive zone. Panacea up high. Kahn with some room again. Takes the shot. Rebound. Greenhall couldn't find an open spot. Now Panacea gets it back, and the A's have a new shot clock. Pass to Flores in the far corner. Went a bit wide. He gets it back. Trying to cut in. Has a lane. Bounces the shot in. That one just wide of the far post. But we've got a stoppage, and Burnaby will take possession. Lead pass ahead. Here's Gary Binning. Been dangerous, especially in the last few games. He'll stop near half boards and drop it off to the big Lindsey Plunkett. Plunkett, of course, has been one of the winners of the Gators Pro Shop Warrior Lacrosse Player of the Game so far in this series. He's played on and off. Here's Billy D. Smith using that tremendous speed to get down the floor. Again, he retreats back and will head to the St. Catharines bench. John Greenhall with the ball. Far circle. Greenhall looking for some men to catch up to the play. Gets it near side, top of the circle. Steenhouse looking for a lane. Cuts back, gets it over to Greenhall, far side. 9 on the shot clock. In front, Kevin Dean makes 3 moves, but then lost control as the ball bounces into the near corner, where it's picked up by Taylor Ray.
I want to point out that's twice now Ability Smith has picked up loose balls, gone in on an odd man breakaway. He's been outmanned. Earlier in the season, he tried to score on those anyway. He's wisely pulled him out both times.
Quick shot in by Benning, who's given a ride down to the floor by Big Matt Skinner. Loose ball now into the near corner, picked up by Mark Steenhouse. 7:25 now to go here in the opening period. Burnaby scored the game's first 2 goals, but the A's have come back with one of their own. And Burnaby leads it 2-1. Derek Wheels alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Stretton for the call, live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Printup, far side. Mike Hominick looking to get in closer. Instead retreats back into the corner. Still spinning around. Now he fires the shot in. It rolled just wide. Rebound in front for Printup, who took a swat at it like it was a fly, but he knocked it over top of the Burnaby goal.
2 quick shots by St. Catharines. Both of them could have beaten Leishon, but they both missed the net. But that's a good sign for St. Catharines. They're creating these chances now.
Plunkett's pass far side for Ray, doesn't connect. Ray, though, grabs a loose ball, tries to muscle his way in, stops bottom of the far circle, gets it back to Plunkett near side. Lakers, 8 on the shot clock. Plunkett gets his way away from Pat Russell, but the pass up the near side is astray. Now there's a loose ball. Kevin Fines trying to get out. Finally, the Burnaby Lakers able to pick it up, but not in time as the shot clock winds down.
I'd like to point out here that I just noticed Frankie Oliverio on the floor.
First
6
time in the
games I've been
series.
trying to pronounce his name.
I shouldn't say that because
I've
he's on the floor.
seen him warm up the goalie last night. With about
Exactly.
13 seconds left, but he actually just played a shift. So, Mr. and Mrs. Oliverio, he's been on the floor.
Speaking of floor, here's Jamie Flores, and he can't get a good shot away. Lakers hold on to it. Locking it up the far side. Here's Curtis Hodgson. 6 minutes now to go in the opening period. A's trail by 1. They do lead the series 3-2. It has been an impressive comeback as far as games go for the A's. They trailed 2-0, remember. But somehow found some energy after that second game and have come back to win 3 straight. Here's Geitch trying to break his way through. Matt Skinner, though, holding him to the outside. Quick shot in, handled easily by Vince. And he'll work it up the far side for Greg Flores. Here's Kevin Dean outside the St. Catharines bench. A's again making changes on their way into the offensive zone. Steenhouse has it near side. Stops top of the near circle. A's with 14. Steenhouse in, takes the shot. Rebound, but he couldn't get a good hold on that shot as the ball came loose, and it was picked up nicely by Andrew Leishon. Another giveaway, though, here for the Lakers. Hansen, though, able to grab it inside the neutral zone, gets it back up to the far side. Hansen's got 2. This time gets it near post for Benning. He'll cut back, trying to spin around the check of Rory Glaves. Gets it back to Hansen, far side. Winds the shot in. Rebound right to Taylor Ray. And the Lakers have a new shot clock. Here's Ray winding one in. This one is grabbed by Dave Bowman as it rebounded off the end boards. Great job there by Bowman to grab that ball quickly. It came out so fast, Andrew.
Also a good job to then get around the 2 players as well and get the pass off. A bit errant, but Rory Glaves brings it in.
Here's Mike Hominick now. Far circle. A's with 10 on the shot clock, having some problems setting up quickly. Benicia, though, we know he's got some speed. Cuts to the net, has some room, takes the shot, but Leishon left him no room to shoot, so he just fired it right into his chest. Burnaby quickly back up the mid-floor. Here's Olsen. Now 4:12 to go in the period. Olsen will slowly get it into the offensive zone. Now moves it into the near corner. Here's Brown. Looking to try to get around Russell. 12 on the shot clock. Brown whacks his way into the high slot. Quick shot in. Brown gets his own rebound. Fires it far side now. Trying to cut in towards that St. Catharines net is Don Manzi. And Manzi has seen as little action in this series as our friend Oliverio.
Well, obviously, Burnaby looking to shake things up a little bit here. As you want to get some guys out. First of all, fresh legs, as we were mentioning, if they are getting fatigued, you want to get some guys who are ready to get out there and play a good, strong game. Especially in the first period, because as we've seen this entire series, it's the second and third periods that matter a bit more. So the more you can rest your guys early, the fresher they'll be late.
A's near side. Here's Craig Kahn. St. Catharines with 12 on the shot clock. Shot by Kahn way wide. Rebound corralled by Sean Greenhall. Greenhall will wind a low shot in. It nearly sneaks in the 5-hole of Andrew Leishon. And again, we've seen this problem from Leishon so far in this series, especially in the last 3 games, Andrew. That shot comes in, he makes the stop, but has no idea where that ball is.
Having a hard time tracking it down, that's for sure. So far tonight, it hasn't hurt him yet, but in most of the last few games, it has hurt him. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case tonight.
Taylor Ray gets it up high. Now McKinnon with the shot. Vince gets the left arm out there to make the stop. Rebound comes near side. Here's Gary Binning again. He'll drop it off up high to McKinnon. Now in close, Taylor Ray being pestered by Rory Glaves, can't grab it. Now finally Jay Levesque's able to get it as he moves it up the near side for Jamie Flores. Now under 3 minutes to play in the opening period. Burnaby leading this one 2-1. There's Steenhouse cutting in, spins in behind the goal. A's have 18 seconds on the shot clock. Steenhouse, near side. He'll be patient, gets it up high to Craig Kahn. Kahn winds the shot in, and there we see it again, Andrew. Leishon makes the stop and then looks behind him as if to say, well, did that one go in?
And that's a completely standard save, too. He should have known exactly where that ball was the entire time.
What that shows me is a lack of confidence. But here's a guy with some confidence. Gwendon rings it off the goal post. Rebound all the way down the floor to Matt Skinner. And Gwendon got in behind the defense there as Chris Drennan joins us up here in the gondola. But lucky for Matt Vince, his friend the goalpost again steps up big.
Oh, definitely. Matt Vince had to rely on the goalpost on that one, and it was there as it always is.
And Vince better be sending the goalpost some chocolate and flowers after this series.
I think after this period, I think he should be sending his defense some chocolate and flowers.
Here's Tim Ham near side, just one on the shot clock. Ham will sneak out in front, but not in time. Now just 1:38 to go in the period. Lead pass down the floor. Here's Lindsey Plunkett. Has to wait for some teammates to catch up. Gets it back to Brown, near circle. Burnaby now with 20 on the shot clock. Brown trying to get around Big J. Levesque. Finally spins loose. Brown looking for a man in front. Retreats back to the near half boards. Now finds a guy. Quick shot in by Manzi. He grabs the rebound and takes it in behind the St. Catharines goal. He's decked though by Rory Glaves. A late signal from Getty to call the game's first penalty against the St. Catharines Athletics. And Burnaby will get their first power play of the night.
Well, an odd penalty by Getty. In my opinion, it was perfectly legal. Getty's calling a high stick, and generally speaking, high stick happens when you hit a player above the shoulder with a cross check or an errant slash. As we take a look at the replay here, you see Manzing was going down as it was. Rory Glaves with a perfectly legal check.
Beautiful check.
Excellent check. I think this penalty is more called because Manzing stayed on the ground for so long, and because of the proximity to the boards. I mean, the last thing you want in a game like this is to see someone get hurt.
And the fact that his helmet flew off and made it look very, very pretty. But the thing was, and we didn't see it in the replay, was that the penalty wasn't called until about 4 or 5 seconds after the play actually took place, when he stood and watched, and that's what you mentioned. He called more the reaction than the actual play.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, your good referees will understand, what is, when a player's trying to draw a penalty by lying on the ground or, like throwing his gloves in the air. I think Manzing, through no fault of his own, his helmet popping off from the force of the hit, did get a reactionary penalty out of Rory Glaves.
Be sure to stay with us for our first intermission. Like a gypsy, Andrew McKay has wandered downstairs.
He's always wandering, isn't he?
He is.
Huh?
He is a vagabond.
From Toronto to St. Catharines and back.
Actually, he's staying here tonight.
Actually, he's staying in the Rose City of Welland. I'd like to say hello to our viewers in Welland.
Hayes back up the floor now, 1:05 to go in the period. Burnaby, though, with the power play. Rory Glaves in the box, and a bit of a questionable call, but Burnaby will take it. Here's Mark Steenhouse. The master penalty killer will walk it into the far corner. We'll see how long he can rag this one for. 10 seconds so far. We'll keep the clock on Steenhouse. Up along the far half boards. They're not going to pressure him too much. They know how good he is. Now the A's bench and the A's fans getting into this one. Steenhouse said, you can chase me all the way back into my own end. For all I care, I'm just going to hold onto this ball. Now Steenhouse trying to get around Kilby. Kilby falls down to the ground. Steenhouse still has it. He's killed about 35 seconds off this penalty just on this possession. Still has it. Burnaby not being all that aggressive here on the power play. Steenhouse still holding on to it. Now he spins into the inside. Taylor Ray trying to give him a whack with that stick, but Steno still holds on to it. What a job here by Mark Steno, Chris.
Yes, an excellent job by Mark Steenhouse, and what Burnaby's doing is trying to force him to within 5 feet of the center line, and then trying to push him over for an over and back call. As you can see, it didn't really work. We seem to have a little commotion down in the Burnaby end.
Craig Kahn swatting Hodgson's stick.
Well, definitely Craig Kahn is going to be an object of Burnaby's ire tonight.
Oh, he's been an object of that for the entire series.
I think he's been an object of the opposition all year long. He's just one of those players. He's a dominant player when he's out there on his game, so of course the opposition's going to go after him. But a fine first period, and you know, the 2-1 score does reflect that. St. Catharines did come out a little flat. They are, I mean, you know, just judging by them before the game, they're loose, they're relaxed, which is good. Now, the 2-1 deficit, you know, that's not really a concern right now. What the Athletics have to do is tighten up on defense and, you know, just find their offensive groove. I think Sean Greenhall is going to have to give up on the long shot and try and concentrate on getting the ball in close and getting some dekes in on Leishon, because the long shot, it was working yesterday, but as we can see so far, not working today.
Chris, to be honest with you, as good as the defensive players on both these teams are, and as good as the goaltenders are, I was expecting we'd get one game in this series. It was one of those 15-13 games, but we haven't. And again, after 20 minutes, the score is 2-1, so I think the defensive play of these teams is just so strong that we're not going to get one of those high-scoring opportunities.
Well, some people would argue with you, Derek, and say it's the goaltender's equipment. The goaltender's equipment has been getting bigger over the years, but in actual fact, I think it's the defensive play of both teams. Both these teams are defense-first oriented, as we've seen in all the scores throughout the series. And, I mean, it's going to be a defensive battle again here tonight. Also, look for the goaltenders to step it up. Leishon with a fantastic period after, you know, 3 games of, you know, absolute nightmare.
Well, we've had some high-scoring games during the OLA playoffs, and the equipment hasn't got any bigger since then, so we're not going to blame it on that. But right now, Andrew McKay is standing by downstairs with his first period intermission guest. Andrew.
We're joined now by Mo Kahn, coach of the St. Catharines Major Athletics, but more importantly tonight anyway, the proud father of Craig Kahn, number 8 for St. Catharines. Craig's having a fantastic series. How impressed are you with how he's doing in his first national championship?
He's playing well. He's sucking up a lot of stuff. He's took a few bad penalties, but that's Craig's nature. I mean, that's the way he plays. But all in all, I'm really pleased with the way he's playing. I'm pleased with the way the whole team's playing.
And to get on to that, this has got to be fantastic as a long-standing member of the lacrosse community in St. Catharines, to see all these people, especially tonight on a Friday night, the Labor Day weekend, the last weekend of the summer. There's so many other things to do. This building's basically full. They've been lining up since 5 o'clock. This has got to be pretty heart-lifting for the entire St. Catharines community.
This is awesome. The lacrosse is St. Catharines. I mean, I remember being here in '91 watching the Minto Cup here, and this is just like '91. And I was impressed then. I'm impressed now with the support that the players are getting.
Okay, last question. If they win tonight, what are you guys doing afterwards?
I think we'll party a little bit.
You think a little bit?
Just a little bit.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Mo. I appreciate it very much.
Andrew.
We'll be right back right after this.
Well, when I was a kid, I played in a little pee-wee and that and nothing. But then my son played to junior A and he played senior B in Kelowna out west. And then I got away from it when we moved out of town a bit, but then when I come back in '94, then, well, I haven't missed a game. It's just great kids, good team, everything's great. Just a good sport. That's a tough one. I got 2, JD and Matt Vince. You know, like, well, Matt, I think he's the anchor man. He's got to be, because to me, to watch him warm up and that, he's so intense, eh? And I think it's him, yeah, Matty. What about that? Well, I brought 2 liters of raspberries, and, well, we seen him, he was devouring them. But ever since the playoffs, then when we've been in the playoffs, I try to bring for him and the team, eh, something. Just for a joke, maybe we'll give him the extra power to beat on somebody. I don't know.
And you got a big garden out back, and you grow these things yourself, don't you?
Yeah. The blueberries I have to get, because the raspberries once they're in full swing, I can keep getting them. But now game after game, I have to have to switch blueberries to raspberries. Well, we're a blue team, so that doesn't hurt. I felt like crying. And it was, yeah, when you outshoot somebody that high, you know, and I thought we should have won at least the first game and maybe even the second game. I said we shouldn't even be behind. But it's the breaks. Eh? I think we got the momentum now. I'm pretty sure. Our boys are focused, and Maddie's playing great. Defense is playing great. I can't see us not finish them off. I hope, but I think they're going to do it 4 games. Maybe. I'm going to buy a great big bottle of champagne for the team and bring it down there. Yeah, I feel great. That's every night after we win, or I call him. My son knows when we lose because I don't call it Kelowna. I call him when we win. He said I knew he lost, because I'll be relieved, and it'll be the first time I ever, you know, been. I think as a fan to see a Minnow Cup winner, you know, because in the 90s, 91, 90s, we were out of town. We weren't here, I never got to see him, but this time, when you see all the games like I've seen, it's going to be really great, I think.
Well,
I think so. From goaltending out, I think it is, yeah. We got numerous scorers, we got good defense, we got good goaltending. What more can you ask, you know? I figure that's why we're going to 2 more games, that's it, Minnow Cup.
We're joined now by Ron Winterbottom Sr. I'm not sure what it is that you haven't done in lacrosse. I just found out as well, one of the first broadcasters to ever do lacrosse on TV in this region, past president of the St. Catharines Old Boys Association, I believe. Yes. One of the original head coaches for Junior A in this city. Now, before the game, we saw a lot of the old boys coming out, being recognized. That's going to be pretty neat to get together with all these guys at a lacrosse game and start swapping stories about back when you didn't wear helmets or pads or all of that.
Sure is great. It brings back memories for everybody, and it's a big thrill to be connected with it. Some of the fellas are out here tonight, of course, have been champions. Some tried very hard and didn't make it, but they still feel part of it tonight, and it's really great. The excitement is just terrific for them.
So it's got to mean a lot for you guys then to get together on a night where St. Catharines could possibly win the Minto Cup, Canada's National Junior Championship. To be here in the building, be able to see that, stir up some memories, but also to cheer on the next generation, or 3 generations down the road, however you wish to put it.
Well, yes, it is, but I'd have to correct you there. It's not. They're not possibly going to win. We feel they're going to win, and we're hoping they're going to win it tonight.
Well, you wouldn't be much of a booster if you didn't say that. Now, we were talking before as well, and you were mentioning other involvement in sports in the area, like rowing and things like that. What is it about St. Catharines that attracts such a large volunteer base that people just want to get out and help?
Well, it's a great community. It's a great place to live. It's a great sporting community. And everybody volunteers to help keep it going. If we didn't do it, when I played sports, somebody did it for me. And I think that's the feeling. And it's not only that way with sports. I think everybody that's in some sort of an environment or whatever, they follow up because somebody helped them to come up through the ranks, and we want to put back into it what we got out of it.
Okay, so we have one little surprise for you right now. Your son's nasty, so we wanted to say on live television, happy 68th birthday.
Thank you very much.
He mentioned it. I'm glad that you could be spending this here. This is, for a birthday present. What better thing could you do than come watch a national championship game?
The only better thing is for me to see the cup in St. Catharines' hands tonight.
Well, you would think so. So you've seen the first period now, and it's been a bit of a different game as it's gone along from the last couple that you've been around to. What does St. Catharines have to do now? They're down a goal going into the rest of the game. What do they have to do now to recover?
First thing they have to do out there is relax. They're up too tight. They got scored on right off the bat. First shot of the game. Everybody's tight out there. If they relax and play their game, they're going to come back and they'll be all right.
Are you a bit surprised that Burnaby's defense seems to be playing considerably better than they have in the last 3 games?
Well, Burnaby's a big team, a hard-checking team. What surprised me right from day one here was the fact that St. Catharines kept them down to the goals that they kept them down to. St. Catharines is a great defensive team, more than they are offensively. All the statistics that we received from out west was that this was a high-scoring team. So I'm surprised that they're not running and fast breaking more than they are and trying to score some goals.
Now, and one last thing. we've noticed from the beginning of the season, St. Catharines had a very high-powered offense. Their defense is really carrying them. Does that surprise you?
Well, no, not really. They're a defensive team, and they've got great goaltending. You build your defense around your goaltender, and the goals will come.
Well, we'll see if that's how it works out the rest of the night. Thanks for joining us. Happy birthday once again.
Thanks for having me.
Coach Coe. And now we're going to send it back up to Derek Wills for the start of the second period.
And welcome back to the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena in St. Catharines. Second period action, just a few seconds away. The score through 20 minutes in game number 6. The A's trail the Lakers 2-1. Derek Wheels alongside Chris Drennan and Andrew McKay for the call, live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. And Chris, another good first period, and it was we talked about at the end of the first, great defense.
Oh yes, fantastic defense by both teams. St. Catharines hasn't found their offensive stride yet, and I think they will this period. They just have to move the ball in and get some crease shots on Leishon.
St. Catharines, of course, counting on Matt Vince to come up with a big night. He's come up with 5 of them so far in this series. 3 of those games turning into St. Catharines victories. Now let's not lose sight of the ultimate picture here, Chris. If Burnaby can somehow manage to hold on to this lead this evening, all of a sudden maybe momentum's back in their court heading into Game 7 tomorrow night. But St. Catharines, of course, they're just 40 minutes away from their first national championship in 10 years. So this game could go either way at this point. It's going to be exciting to see how it finishes.
Oh, definitely. With 40 minutes of lacrosse left in a 2-1 game, it's still anyone's game. If Burnaby can pull this one out, I think you're going to be looking at a very interesting game tomorrow night. But on the other hand, if St. Catharines can, step it up and, bring their A game for the remaining 40 minutes, this will be it, all over tonight.
Speaking of stepping up, one guy who has stepped up for the Lakers has been number 7, Gary Binning. He has played exceptionally well, especially in the last 3 games. He's the smallest guy on the floor, Chris, but he's got so much speed, and he can use that spin move to his advantage. He gets loose, opens up some more room for the other guys out there with him.
Oh, definitely. He reminds me of Mark Steinhaus from St. Catharines, actually. Kind of on the small side, a real speedster, very agile, and his stick skills are incomparable.
St. Catharines wearing the road blue jerseys will move from left to right here on your television set in the second period. Burnaby wearing the home whites will move from right to left. Russell and Olsen will line up for the draw to get the second period underway. Still 48 seconds remaining in the Rory Glaves penalty, so Burnaby starts the second with the power play. Into the far corner. Here's Jamie Flores. He'll drop it off in behind the goal to Matt Vince. Vince then plays a little bit of a pick for Flores, who quickly moves it back over mid-floor. Now Taylor Ray picks up the loose ball inside the Burnaby end. 30 seconds now to go in the Laker power play. 19:35 to play in the second period. Burnaby has the 2-1 lead. Derek Wheels alongside Chris Drennan and Andrew McKay for the call, live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Miasha to the captain. Now goes far side. Binning drops it off down low. Back to Miasha. Winds the shot in, but Vince able to get in front of it and make the stop. Loose ball down the floor. Here's Greg Flores. Has Steenhouse catching up. Nobody even sees Steenhouse at this point. Gets the pass over. Steenhouse takes the shot. And again, Chris, Andrew Leishon makes the save and then starts looking around for the ball. He's got no idea where that ball is.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and after the last 3 games, Leishon should be looking around for where the ball is because most of the time it wound up behind him in the last 3 games.
Lakers back into the offensive zone. The power play has ended, though. Quick shot in. Big save by Vince. Rebound back up to the near half boards. Picked up there by Bowman. Knocked away from him by the pair of Hansen and Olsen. And Burnaby takes over. Now Olsen inside. Hansen bounces it in, but Matt Vince able to sit on top of it and make the stop, and that's the difference, Chris. That shot came in lightning fast, but Matt Vince goes down, makes the save, and knows where that ball is, and it's in between his legs. Great presence out there for Vince, and that's something Andrew Leishon doesn't have.
Oh, for sure. Matt Vince is a very heads-up goalie. He likes to know where the ball is, and, most of the time he does.
Here's Ham wanting the shot in. Rebound off the end boards to Nick Farina. Lakers will take over. Here's Curtis Hodgson. Moves his way over mid-floor. Gets it near side now. Taylor Ray stops in the near corner. Gets it up high. And here's Nadad Geich. Back to the far side. Now Binning. In close. Taylor Ray with a backhand shot. Rebound off the end boards. Picked up by Geich. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Lakers. Skytch trying to sneak in. Loose ball in front. Fines has it. He takes a wild shot. Comes back out up into the high slot as Binning winds a quick one in just as the shot clock expires. And St. Catharines will take over. But a nice little rush there for the Lakers, who just couldn't get that ball onto the net.
Oh, definitely. And I think what you noticed there is St. Catharines' defense has stepped it up. They've tightened up. They're going to go back to playing that very, very tight man, which has proved very successful for them in the past 3 games.
Here's Flores now near side. Billy D. Smith up high, looking for some room. Into the high slot, winds the shot in. Greg Flores on the doorstep, trying to grab it, but it finally comes to LeSean, and again, no idea where the ball is. He's just whacking that goal stick around, hoping it'll land in there. Actually went off his left leg. He nearly scored on himself.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, LeSean can't be happy about the fact that he never knows where the ball is. I mean, as a goaltender, you want to know where the ball is at all times. You want to know who has the ball and who's passing the ball to where.
Into the near corner, Billy D. Smith gets it up the near side. And the Lakers retreat back into the defensive zone. 16:44 now to go in the second period. Burnaby still leading 2-1. Pinicia near side. Russell gets it near circle. Bowman, he looks for a man and gets Mike Homoduck into the near corner. A's with 9 on the shot clock. Homoduck sneaking out very quickly. Gets the ball knocked away. Bowman, far side. Russell winds it in. Loose ball right on the edge of the crease, but LeSean this time knows where it is and moves it ahead up the near side for the captain, Miyashita. Andrew McKay again joins us here in the second period. 16:15 to go, and the A's and Lakers still deadlocked in a very, very tight defensive battle. Burnaby has the 2-1 lead. Here come the Lakers again, led by Binning. Quick shot. Matty Vince down on the knees, knocks it all the way over to the far boards, actually up and over the glass and out of play, but St. Catharines will hold on to it. Here's Greenhall, right green shirt. He'll streak over top of mid-floor, gets up the right side, stops, bottom of the near circle. A's, 18 on the shot clock. Greenhall to Steenhouse, rebound, low slot. Greenhall looking for it, but the Lakers and Jeff Snyder able to corral it. But now Kevin Dean with some great work on the forward check, nearly got it away. Snyder, though, does break back down the floor. Lakers get set up quickly with 20 on the shot clock. Snyder into the near corner, being hammered by Matt Skinner. Gets it back up high. Here's Kevin Fines near circle. Far side now. Trying to get the shot away. Brown instead dumps it off to Plunkett. Plunkett winds the shot in. It bounced wide. Rebound right back to Plunkett. 4 on the shot clock. Backhand shot comes into the near corner, and it comes back to Olsen, but just as the shot clock expires.
Looks like a much more solid effort here in the second period by St. Catharines on both ends. They seem a bit more sure of where the ball is. Possibly helped out by Mark Steenhouse killing that penalty at the end of the first period and then killing off the rest of it to begin the second of it. That they do seem a little more sure of what they're doing here. Now Flores with a quick shot, but unfortunately right into LeSean's stick once again, and for once LeSean manages to actually control the ball.
For once.
For once.
Up the near side, here's Hansen. 18 on the shot clock. Lakers having lots of time once they get into the offensive zone. That's something St. Catharines hasn't done all that terrific tonight, and that's get set up very quickly to leave themselves 20 seconds on the shot clock to get a couple of plays on.
Also not putting a lot of pressure on Burnaby, so Burnaby's getting lots of time in that zone.
Lakers again get a quick shot away, but it's wide of the near post. Olsen works it far side, wanting the shot in. Brown. Lakers, though, grab the rebound. Here's Hansen again, looking for the hat trick. Can't get around Billy D. Smith, though. Smith flips in the near corner, gets right back up, though, trying to get through Brown and Hansen, and he does. And the crowd here at the Jack Cliff Garden City Arena gives him a nice little round of applause.
You can tell Ron Winterbottom Sr.'s predictions aside that they're a little apprehensive right now. They're not exactly positive they're going to win this game. Ron basically guaranteed it. There's no Don Smith, but I tell these guys are waiting for something good to happen.
Don actually told me they'd win tonight in a pregame interview.
As we send the confetti flying out of the box.
Back down the floor. Here come the Burnaby Lakers looking to extend that 2-1 lead. Miyashita, near side. He'll pause bottom of the near circle. Now goes down low. Taylor Ray holding on to it. He'll sneak back up high. 13 on the clock. Ray winds the shot in, and he scores! Taylor Ray quickly kicks it to the low spot and then bounces one inside the near post. And with 13:28 to go in the second, the Lakers have extended their lead to 3-1.
An absolute bullet of a shot as Taylor Ray takes one quick step, wings it towards the post. Matt Vince trying to get over. You see Ray moving around the defensive Rory Glaves there, and now he just fires. Matt Vince sees it coming, tries to go over to the right, just can't get over in time. Ray threads the needle. Gives Burnaby a 2-goal lead again. 6 minutes and 32 seconds into the second period.
So St. Catharines now has a 2-goal deficit once again. It was 2-0 for Burnaby. St. Catharines fought back to make it 2-1, but the A's, I think they need a bit of a break here, Andrew. We got a timeout on the floor.
And as we mentioned, with the crowd here tonight, it's a lot hotter in here than it's been basically since game one. It was pretty hot in here, although we couldn't really tell because we didn't have the fans. So, however, this building is absolutely packed tonight, and with the rain this afternoon, that's going to bring some of the humidity inside as well. So it's pretty sticky in here. So I think the referees or the goalies, I mean, are going to be taking lots of breaks, and the referees will be granting them basically upon request. Wanted to mention here, it is sign night, by the way.
Yes,
And
it is.
there are
Got some
prizes for the best signs. And there are signs all over the place. And, in fact, here's, well, see, that's not much of a sign. He bought those outside for $1 each. But there is one on the other side of the arena that says, Craig, get naked, which, that's just not appropriate.
Let me ask you something. Tell me a girl is holding that sign.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I think, yeah, it is.
Let's hope it's Craig Tom's girlfriend.
Oh, you have to point that out for me, remember? The other stuff?
Cheryl hooked up, that's Craig Tom's girlfriend's name, by the way, hooked up Bruiser with a big A before the game. Hamilton Bulldogs official mascot here tonight, causing havoc as usual.
And I wonder who brought him.
I brought him.
Surprise.
And that goes the leash, though, and he's running wild inside the Jack Clip. Speaking of running wild, the Burnaby Lakers have been, by their standards anyway, running wild here on this one. Speaking in Paniccia, he'll cut back into the far corner. Now up high, Russell. A's have 5 on the clock. Russell's shot goes about 25 feet over top of the Burnaby goal and into the netting behind the Laker end. Burnaby quickly moves it back down the floor, but the pass way too high for Kevin Fine, so St. Catharines will take over. Lead pass down the left side for Craig Kahn. He chases it down. He's taken down and behind the Burnaby goal. Possession will remain with St. Catharines, and Craig Kahn will take it into the far corner. 12:21 to go here in the second period. Lakers leading 3-1. Kahn bounces the shot in. That one ricochets into the near corner and over the glass, and St. Catharines again will get possession.
They caught that on the deflection on Kahn's shot. They called that it hit a Burnaby player before it bounced a couple of times going into the crowd. So.
Here's Steenhouse in behind the goal, looking for a man to cut into that low slot area. Steenhouse now fighting in that far corner with Lemke, trying to spin, trying to hold on to that ball. And Andrew, I'm going to remind you, there's an interesting story on how Steenhouse became so good at dragging that ball. Tell that to our viewers a little later on. Big shot in right into the chest of Leishon. Lakers will move it back up towards mid-floor. Here's Gary Binning. Let's see how dangerous he is on this rush. He's been dangerous again tonight, as he was particularly in games 4 and 5. Quick shot in. A save go by Matt Vince. He'll hold on and then move it up the far side for Rory Glaves. Now 11.5 minutes to go in the second period. Burnaby has a 2-goal lead. Derek Wheels alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan for the call live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Greenhall, far side. Kahn handle the pass, gets it right back. Still has possession. A's with 8 on the shot clock. Fires the shot in. That one rolls wide on the far post. Rebound to Andrew Gwindon. He'll carry it over top of mid-floor, trying to get around Greenhall. Takes the backhand shot as he goes sliding into the end boards. But that shot, which was a tricky one for Matt Vince to get a handle on, went just wide on that far post.
Greenhall, a bit of a mistake there, not realizing which hand Gwindon was going with. He had him isolated, let him go to the other side, which is a good hand, created a scoring chance.
Now the A's back into the offensive zone. They've got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Russell, far side, prints up, quick pass to Bowman, who winds up, but that bounces away. The Lakers able to corral the rebound to get it up the near side for Curtis Hodgson. Back over mid-floor. Now 10:30 to go in the period. Hodgson near side. Olsen breaking towards the goal, but he's taken down by the captain, Dan Bowman. And Hodgson went sliding into the near corner, and you can see the big wet streak that followed his path.
Excuse the giggle, but that's the kind of stuff that's been called a penalty the entire time. And this time Hodgson gets called for being in the crease after basically being gang tackled from behind. So it's kind of amusing trying to keep up with which game we're going to get tonight.
Here's Craig Kahn spinning around, gets some room, takes the shot, but it deflects off something in front and up and over the glass, so Burnaby will take over. Lead pass down the floor. Here's Hansen again. He's got two, looking for the hat trick. Stops, bottom of the near circle. Now spins around the check of Skinner. Gets it back to Geitch. Now far side for Lindsey Plunkett. 9:48 to go in the second period. St. Catharines trailing 3-1. Here's Hansen again, near circle, looking for some room. Gets it on Olsen, but Skinner grabbed him around the neck. He was ready to ride him like a rodeo bull. As the pass comes wildly back up to the near side, Hansen over top of mid-floor will wire it in the air, and St. Catharines will take over deep in their own zone.
Both offenses looking, well, what's the word, sporadic maybe, as really not getting much established. St. Catharines having a very hard time getting a quality shot early in the shot clock, or at least a quality chance to start a fake with. And Burnaby's being able to get set up with 8 seconds on the clock and knowing a shot's coming.
Here's Sean Greenhall near side, works it over to Tim Ham. His pass down low was, I believe, intended for Mark Steenhouse, but Steenhouse had already moved back up high. Burnaby steals, gets it back down the floor. Here's Kevin Fines near side. He'll stop, drops it off Taylor Ray. Ray looking for room to get to that St. Catharines net. He's being held up by Dave Bowman. Now Ray breaks back up to the near boards. Still has it, winds the shot in. Rebound for Fines, who lets one go. And Burnaby gets a hold of it again with a new shot clock. Here's Taylor Ray. Far side now for Gary Benning. Benning will run it down to the bottom of the far circle. Gets it back to Ray near side. Pass though goes astray. And it's grabbed by Manzi. He's being pestered by the much, much bigger John Donnelly into the near corner. Manzi, he may actually be smaller than Gary Benning.
He's much smaller than Gary Benning, it looks like, but he looks stockier. So.
Now we've got a stoppage in play as Kevin Dean was throwing down to the floor up along the near half boards. Dean got up looking for a penalty, but he's not going to get one. St. Catharines, though, will take over. 8:28 now to go in the second period. Burnaby 3, St. Catharines 1. The A's lead the best of 7 Minto Cup 3 games to 2 and have a chance to wrap it up here at the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena tonight. Now Craig Kahn, top of the far circle. A's with 15 on the shot clock. They get it in. Panicia winds one in. That one just missed the near post. Panicia gets his own rebound. Back to Flores. Now to Kahn. He takes the shot. Another rebound and another new shot clock for the A's. Here's Greenhall in front. Gets it back, Jamie Flores. Now up to brother Greg. Back up high to Jamie Flores. Penalty on the way against Burnaby as Vince heads to the bench, but Panicia may go as well as he took one after the whistle, and as a matter of fact he will, so kind of a dumb play by Panicia as the A's had a power play on the way.
Well, this is a bit of a cheap call on the second one, as Panicia obviously very frustrated by getting knocked down, gets up, pushes Farina a little bit. Farina falls down like he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Like Sylvie Frechette?
Exactly. We tried to figure out, we couldn't figure out who that diver was, by the way. But here, we're going to look at this thing here. See, they're over on the right side as the ball moves over a bit. And Panicia's knocked to the ground. So here's Farina. And Panicia just kind of gets up. Look at that, just a shove. That's nothing. And Panicia, look at the, Farina goes down as if a 14-gun salute went off and every single bullet hit him in the chest. And that's, you can't get drawn into those kinds of penalties. Pushing and shoving is allowed as far as I know. And it's usually not called on it. And this was not a punch to the head or anything like that. So
great shot of Matty Vince there. It says Showtime on his helmet. Actually, I'm going to take responsibility for that because I said to him, well, midway through the season, I said, Matt, you've got Showtime on your hockey helmet. Why don't you have it on your lacrosse helmet? He says, Willsy, that's a good idea. I think I'll put it on there. So ever since then, of course, his play has gone increasingly better.
He doesn't call you Willsy.
No? Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Not to you. Maybe to
or
me.
to you either. No, when you're awake. Right. Speaking of face-offs.
We weren't speaking of face-offs.
Now we are.
Okay. Ball far side, offsetting penalties on that last play, so we'll play a little 4-on-4 action for the first time tonight, Andrew, surprisingly enough.
Well, it's been a low penalty game, and unfortunately St. Catharines could have been going on the power play here, but for the retaliatory penalty to Panicia.
A's trying to set up. They do have the advantage with the 4-on-4. They shoot. They score! Craig Kahn for the second time tonight. Picks the far corner, and the A's crawl to within one.
Craig Kahn, that about sums it up for a lot of these St. Catharines fans. I wouldn't necessarily say he's God, but he's very good. Maybe they just missed the no. Winds up, 2 steps, gets himself established, and for the first time in this second period, that shot, which he's been trying, doesn't get deflected. He's either been throwing them right into the ground or they've been getting deflected. Scores his second goal, 8 in the series now, and for what's been a remarkably low-scoring series, Craig Kahn's basically been an offensive powerhouse.
Craig Kahn has been an offensive powerhouse, a defensive powerhouse, and a powerhouse on special teams as well. He is certainly going to be considered for series most valuable player, as will, I'm sure, Matt Vince and Sean Greenhall. Mark Steenhouse will get some votes as well, but Craig Kahn, what a game he's having tonight. He's got 2, and the A's are within 1. Quick shot in, knocked away by Leishon. Picked up by Snyder. He'll chase that ball and run deep into St. Catharines territory. Runs right into the crease, and Matt Vince steps up and sends Snyder flying down to the concrete. Now Craig Kahn gives him a bit of a face wash, and we've got a scrum ensuing inside that St. Catharines crease area.
It's plays like that that make me wonder whatever happened to the freehand rule, which is basically, if you've only got one hand on the stick, you're not allowed to use the other one to push guys off, and that's how Snyder made it the last 15 feet towards the net. But probably got what he deserved out of it, like a bit of a rough up from Kahn and Vince once he made it all the way into the crease.
6:52 now to go in the period. A's within 1 goal. Loose ball near side, picked up by the very tall Greg Flores. Now near side, Greenhall takes the shot. Rebound for Kahn, but he throws it just wide of the far post. A's have a new shot clock though. Here's Steenhouse far side. The crowd back into this one at the Jack Gatecliff. Now Kahn to Steenhouse, winds the shot in. A late reaction by Leishon, but the good thing for the Lakers was that shot was wide. Back up to mid-floor, here's Steenhouse again. The go, A's go chance starts here from the jam-packed Jack Gatecliff. Penalty on the way against Burnaby. Here's Steenhouse, bounces it in. Nice save though by Leishon, but the A's will head to a 4-on-3 power play here with 6:14 to go in the second.
Sean Lemke's going to get a holding penalty here for trying to go over the back of Craig Kahn. Craig Kahn trying to cut towards the front of the net. You see the St. Catharines fans really feeling the tide of how this might be changing a bit in their favor. You can see here's Lemke, number 13 there, trying to follow Kahn around. Now Kahn tries to make a move and Lemke just drapes around. But instead of just playing for the ball, he keeps his arm there and basically turns it into a bit of a tackle.
He's off to the right of the Burnaby goal. Goes all the way back down deep into St. Catharines territory. Picked there by Matt Vince. He'll work it up over top of mid-floor to Craig Kahn. Kahn, who likes to play deep in that far corner, heads there and drops the ball off to Sean Greenhall. Greenhall now near side. Hominick with a bit of room. Back to Greenhall, now to Printup. Printup winds the shot in. Rebound right back to Kahn. 13 of the shot clock. Kahn has it up far side. Now Greenhall throws a low shot in. That one sailed just wide of the near post. And the ball comes all the way back down the floor. Just 1 second on the shot clock, and Matty Vince will fire one wide of that net.
Hodgson got nailed by Greenhall's shot. He's gone straight to the dressing room. I think it hit him in his left arm somewhere.
Loose ball up the near side, picked up by Nenad Geich. He's being chopped and whacked and hacked by Steenhouse. Burnaby bench cheering for a penalty. They're not going to get one. Steenhouse, as a matter of fact, picks up the loose ball, and he'll walk it up to the far side. Now gets it ahead. Here's Hominick. All alone. 1, 2, 3, score! Defensive breakdown by the Burnaby Lakers sends Mike Hominick in all alone, and Moxie makes no mistake, and we're all tied at 3. Woo! Wow, what a goal by Hominick!
Mike Hominick finally gets on the score sheet. 7 assists coming into this game, no goals. Told the local paper he's very happy with that, but I'm sure he's happier with this one, tying it up. As he comes in all along on Leishon. Leishon not moving at all, so those 4 moves. Finally, Leishon throws up the right shoulder. Hominick, apparently they don't have the scouting report on Hominick, puts it over his favorite shoulder. The first time he's had a chance for it. Burnaby very upset here about this hit that went on right in front of their bench, which is their right to be upset about it. What they're not right about is the reason that breakaway turned around is all of the players who were on the floor started turning around and yelling at the referees that it should have been a penalty. Forgot the play was still going on, kept going, and as soon as the goal went in, Andrew Leishon chased after Getty, the Western referee, started yelling at him about it. And you know, there's calls that don't get made, and whether that was a call or not, I'm not sure. The helmet popped off, but we've seen enough helmets pop off in this series that that's not an indication of anything. That's no excuse to stop the play. You finish the play and then you do your complaining. You're not going to get it back anyway. And the entire Burnaby team stopped to complain about something instead of following up the play, and as a result, Mike Hominuk goes in completely all alone.
Fox yelling at Andrew Leishon, get back into that net, no more stalling, and then Fox and Getty kind of locked eyes, and I think if Leishon continues these stalling tactics, someone's going to wind up in the penalty box for the Burnaby Lakers. Back down the floor, here come the Lakers, trying to once again take the lead. 24 on the shot clock, Brown's got it far corner. Looking for a man in front, we've got 5 minutes to go in the second period, and we're all tied at 3 in game 6. Near side, Plunkett winds the shot in. That deflects over the glass and out of play. And St. Catharines will take over. We've got more helmets popping off. It's almost like when I was a kid and I used to grab a hold of a dandelion and pop off the head.
Yeah, you know, the series hasn't been rough enough for the number of Burnaby helmets to pop off. So they might want to have a speak with the manufacturer of the chin straps because they got ripped off.
A's playing in front of a capacity crowd here at the Jack Gatecliff. Have that Fez behind him. Here comes Steenhouse in. Shoots! Scores! Mark Steenhouse again over top of Andrew Leishon, and the Lakers are sinking as the A's take a 4-3 lead.
See Andrew Leishon upset about this one again. Thought Steenhouse was in the crease. Kind of hard to tell from our vantage point here. He did certainly seem very close to it. Tim Ham has actually run outside. He's screaming a bit outside. I'm not sure if he got injured a bit or anything because he went right through the tunnel and went outside. But see Steenhouse moving in there. And Burnaby defense, which have been very good for the first half of the game and keeping St. Catharines away from that front of the net, have been very remiss in their duties on that behalf so far in the last 5 minutes.
4:25 to go in the second period. The A's have the lead, 4-3. They are out in front for the first time tonight. And we've got a violation being called against Burnaby, so St. Catharines again will take over. And the Lakers must feel as though they've had the rug pulled from underneath them yet again, Andrew.
Well, as we mentioned, what started to turn that tide there might have been that hit, but their subsequent refusal to keep playing the play out, and they're going to want to get their composure back before this gets too horrible.
Certainly seems like that could be the turning point in the game. Here's Greenhall winding a low shot in. Loose ball into the far corner, picked up by Nick Farina. Now under 4 minutes to play in the second period. Lakers trailing the A's by 1 goal. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan for the call, live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here come the Lakers back into the offensive zone. Kayla Ray spinning around, bounces a shot in. That one goes just wide of the far goal post, and the A's will take over.
Long deep pass there for Steenhouse that's nowhere near him. I think it's probably kind of important for St. Catharines to get this next goal if they can, because while it's good to have the lead, you don't want to quiet this building down. And I think if you're playing with a 2-goal lead, 1 goal at a time isn't going to kill you.
Lakers far circle, trying to cut in. Lindsey Plunkett gets the pass down into the far corner, picked up there by John Donnelly, who I'm sure had his berries before tonight's game. Donnelly ahead, here comes Steenhouse, in, cuts, up to the near side, but he'll retreat back to the bottom of the near circle. A's have 18 on the shot clock. Steenhouse gets it into Greenhall. Greenhall, couple of quick moves, takes the shot, but it was right into the chest of Andrew Leishon, which at this point seemed to be the only shots he can stop.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You're being a lot harder on Leishon than I am, and that might be me with blinders on. I think both goalies in the series have played very well. The problem is that, once again, fortunately that ball bounced wide, and it was one of his teammates that picked it up. Leishon has to figure out how to control that ball, so when it's bouncing in his crease where he can pick it up.
I'll tell you what the problem is. Matt Vince has got better as the series has gone on. Andrew Leishon has got worse. That's the problem.
Well, I'd say you're probably right there. In the first game, I give Leishon credit for coming close to stealing that game from St. Catharines. and he hasn't really stolen a game. He's kept his team in the games, but he hasn't stolen one since.
Lakers right back down the floor. Now 2 minutes to play here in the period. St. Catharines leading 4-3. Lakers trying to set up the offense. Here's Hansen near corner. 10 on the shot clock. Hansen looking to cut in. Instead works it over to Olsen. Olsen taken down hard in front by Dave Bowman. And Burnaby will hold on as Chris Drennan joins us for the 2-minute warning.
How's it going, Derek?
Oh, Peachy.
What is with you and Peachy?
Peachy means happy.
I just don't get it sometimes. Well, definitely a vast improvement from the first period. St. Catharines found their offensive stride, and Burnaby seems to be very rattled out there.
Certainly do, and part of that could be this enormous crowd here at the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena, and that's definitely one of the reasons I'm happy. There has been a phenomenal turnout of fans to all 6 of these games so far, Chris, and tonight obviously the biggest crowd. This place is packed to capacity, standing room only, and it certainly is great to see. It's a great atmosphere for us to work in, isn't it?
Oh, it's fantastic. Actually, I was wandering around a little bit during the second period, and in some of the ends and some parts of the railing, they're packed in 2 and 3 deep.
Here's Gary Binning, trying to use some of that speed he's got. Gets it up high, 15 on the shot clock. Hansen winds one in. Vince, though, gets the right shoulder up there to knock it into the near corner. Now we've got some pushing and shoving. Matt Skinner in there, of course, as usual.
Matt Skinner, he's the guy. He's going to draw a penalty just about every time, so, why not get in there if you're Matt Skinner?
It's amazing how Skinner's reputation has gone from a guy who takes too many penalties to a guy who draws penalties in just 6 games.
Well, I don't think it's the fact that, he's changed his reputation. Just the fact that he's gone from, a player who was very good during the regular season to a player that was outstanding during the Ontario playoffs to a player that has just become, really, really impressive and borderline amazing in this Minto Cup championship.
How much did Matt pay you to say that?
Nothing, actually.
Good shot, and they score again! Mark Benicia gives the A's their biggest lead in the game, and with 1:03 to go in the second, St. Catharines up by 2.
Yes, fantastic goal by Benicia. It's on a move he doesn't use very much. As you take a look here, see the ball coming down. Sorry, Halmanuk with the ball, moves it down to Benicia, fakes him, puts it in.
Again, up high, Chris,
Up high, yes, and I think the Athletics are going to have to go there. Leishon has to know they're going to be taking the long shots. They're going to be taking the long shots low. He's managed to, pick up on that tonight. He may not know where the ball winds up all the time, but he's managed to pick up on that. And I mean, it's funny because that move that Mark Benicia used there, it's not something he generally uses. I mean, generally speaking, he likes to come in from the corner, come in to the side and try and bury the ball in the far side, or if he has an open spot, he'll try and put it in the near side. So, a rather impressive goal from Mark Benicia.
For those of you just tuning in, Burnaby jumped out to a 2-0 lead. St. Catharines scored to make it 2-1. Burnaby scored the 4th goal of the night to give them a 3-1 lead. St. Catharines scored to make it 3-2, but the A's have now scored 4 straight goals and have the 5-3 lead with 1:03 to go in the second.
Well, actually, Andrew, something I'm just noticing here.
Andrew?
I'm sorry, we'll have to talk about that later. Leishon seems to be going to the bench after every goal, and whenever he gets a chance, it's actually rather distracting, and I'm surprised that referee Bill Fox and Bill Getty have not said anything to him.
They have.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a delay of game penalty.
I'm surprised as well, and I think one's on the way, because the last time, Chris, and I know you were down below and didn't see it, but Leishon came over to the bench, spent 45 seconds just standing there. Fox yelled at him, "Get back into that net," twice. Leishon took his sweet time getting back there, and then Fox gave Getty a look as if to say, the next time he does this, he's in the box. Someone's in the box.
And I think it's a very, very good call for both of them to make.
Quick shot in as the shot clock expires. Now under half a minute to play in the second period. A period that has been dominated by the St. Catharines Athletics. They've scored 4 straight and have the 5-3 lead. Derek Wills alongside Chris Drennan and Andrew McKay for the call live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Now we have LeSean off to the Burnaby bench for the last 6 seconds. Lakers hoping to get some momentum heading into the room. Here's Miyashita, near side, looking for the shot, back to Olsen, winds it in, but a little too late as the horn sounds the end of 2 periods in game number 6, and the St. Catharines Athletics, with a 2-goal lead, are now just 20 minutes away from a national championship.
And definitely a fantastic period for them. I think what the coaching staff, Les Bartley, Steve Fennell, and Don Smith are going to have to do is they're going to have to take the Athletics into the locker room, calm them down, explain to them, by no means is this one over. Burnaby is too good of a team to roll over and just, let what's going to happen happen.
Keep in mind, if Game 7 in this series is necessary, we will have it for you live tomorrow night, beginning at 8 p.m. right here from the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena in St. Catharines. And we have had so much fun, and it's been a great pleasure for us to bring you all these games live. And the crowds, as we've talked about, Chris, just keep getting bigger and bigger, and that makes it a lot of fun to come into these buildings at night, and you can feel the electricity circulating through this old arena. There's been so many great events inside of this building, and this is just the latest.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the St. Catharines Falcons winning numerous championships here. You now have, the St. Catharines major athletics playing here, and they're a team that is coming into their own. Look for them to be a threat in the next few years. And, what now with the St. Catharines Athletics, in another Minto Cup in this fabulous old barn.
Well, they haven't won it yet.
Well, I said in a Minto Cup. A Minto Cup. It's absolutely fantastic. I get chills every time I walk in this arena.
Certainly do. And another guy who gets chills is downstairs. Here's Andrew McKay.
Joined now by Brian Bowman, sponsor of the St. Catharines Fitness Depot Athletics, but tonight, more importantly, the father of Dan and Dave Bowman. They're both playing strong games. This second period's a great improvement over the first period for the A's, don't you think?
It certainly is. The boys really picked up on offense, and defensively they're playing great. Matt Vince is playing up his game talent, and the boys are just coming through here, so I think we're going to have a great third period.
Nice to see them regain some of that energy that we saw the last couple of nights that maybe wasn't around so much in the first period.
Yeah, the first period it looked a little lethargic, but they picked up a little bit and started going for the net and passing the ball around and take some great shots, and the ball started to go in for us. So it's been a good period for us.
Now, in your role as the sponsor, obviously, you're just the sponsor. You help out a bit, but as you've noticed, you've been around the entire week. There's a lot of work that goes into putting on a tournament like this. Maybe you could speak a bit about the volunteers and the people who've helped out.
Well, I mean, it does take a lot of work, and the volunteers are to be congratulated immensely. But there's a lot of work behind the scenes that just takes a lot of work, and I congratulate the volunteers. It's great to be a sponsor for this team. I've been on the bench for the last 3 years, and it's great to be part of the team.
You got to feel pretty proud. I mean, looking at this, you're a period away from a Minto Cup championship. You're a sponsor. You're a father of kids on the team. You're a fan of the sport. You're a fan of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, this has got to be part fun, part really big apprehension right now.
This is the ultimate for me. It's just great. It's just we're one big happy family out there, and I'm just really thrilled to be part of the whole scene here. So it couldn't be better.
Well, I hope the third period goes the way that you wanted to. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
We'll be right back right after this.
Ready to play?
Always ready to play.
Good.
Here we are at the Riviera Hotel and Casino, and it's International Elvis Week.
It was a night.
The king may have left the building.
I don't know what the big deal is. That twerker's been dead for 20 years now.
But two guys have come to steal the show.
Hey, man. Try to think of us as the Osmonds, only we don't get along.
One's got his style.
Hey, Elvis, you look great.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
The other has his attitude.
Long time no see.
I'm your partner. Sometimes I actually think you believe you're the king himself. In the flesh.
You stole my car, you stole my money.
You're so paranoid.
Damn it, you almost hit me.
You nuts?
Probably.
What is it with those sideburns? I glued mine on for the job. For you, it's an actual lifestyle.
So why rob the casino?
Because everybody else robs banks. Time to go to work, baby.
They're taking the act to Vegas.
Main booth, scramble security.
And bringing down the house.
We're back, joined now by Ed Como, head coach of the Brampton Excelsiors in the Ontario Lacrosse Association Junior A League, assistant coach with the Toronto Rock. Ed, this is a pretty good atmosphere we got going on here for a Friday night. It's a good night for lacrosse.
Yeah, it's great. The Minto Cup committee in St. Catharines community done a great job supporting it. Every game I've been to has been an excellent game, and this is no different.
Now, with me working for the Beaches and you working for Brampton, you kind of look on to these games with this kind of a wistfulness on how are we going to get our teams here? It seems a little bit more daunting when you get into a building this full and you see the level these guys have been playing at all week, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think our teams are the junior league in Ontario is so good. There's so many teams that are not far off, and maybe a player here and there. So, but the atmosphere and the ability to play, 7-game series, it's so tough, and St. Catharines is doing a great job.
Well, now, so as the experienced vet that you are and somebody who knows the league, we're not going to let you off the hook here that easily. So they got a 2-goal lead here during the third period for St. Catharines. Are they going to hold on to it? Do you think Burnaby's going to storm back? Give us a prediction.
Well, I think St. Catharines is going to hold on. I think Burnaby's a little down right now. St. Catharines can win the first 5 minutes of the period. I think they'll win the game.
Good call. Thanks for joining us, Ed. I appreciate it very much. And we'll be right back with the third period right after this.
We're Cogeco, your cable company, and we bring you a whole lot of entertaining and exciting programs from around the world. But you've told us that all your local news, weather, sports, and community events are just as important to you. And so we work hard to make sure that you always have the best of both, from around the world and around the corner. After all, isn't that the beauty of having cable in the first place? Cogeco, taking you there.
If the Germans capture this city, the entire country will collapse. I want our boys to resist. What we need are heroes. Do you know any heroes? I know one. Armed only with a rifle, he quickly made the Nazi invader realize that from now on, the only way was back.
Vasily! Vasily!
You've seen the way people look at you, Vasily. You mean something bigger than yourself. The whole country is looking at you. Those snipers are demoralizing my army. They sent their top marksman. It seems he's come all the way from Berlin to stop you. How are you going to go about finding this young Russian?
I'll fix it so that he's the one who finds me.
A battle between two nations became a conflict between two men.
I don't stand a chance against this man. If you kill him, you can win the war for us. You've promised people a victory I can't deliver.
And is there a girl he loves in his village?
Not in his village, here.
Does she love him?
Paramount Pictures and Mandalay Pictures present
He'll kill you and then he'll kill me too.
Joseph Fiennes.
She believes in you.
Jude Law.
You've built me up and up into someone I'm not.
Rachel Weisz.
It seems your destinies are entwined.
Bob Hoskins.
Where is he? Where's Vasily?
He's dead.
And Ed Harris.
He isn't dead. Because I haven't killed him yet.
A hero never chooses his destiny. Destiny chooses him.
The electricity is going wild inside the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena tonight. We're playing in game number 6 of the 2001 Minto Cup, and the St. Catharines Athletics are just 20 minutes away from a Canadian championship. Welcome back, everybody. Derek Wills alongside Chris Drennan and Andrew McKay. And Chris, something we talked about during the break was the fact that there are so many people in an organization that have to contribute in order to make a team successful, like the A's are. And you mentioned one guy in particular.
Oh, definitely. If you've been out to any of the games, you've seen him. I know you have. The elderly gentleman who's always behind the bench, always giving the refs what for. Pep. Never taken a shift on the team this year, but he's always there washing the shirts. And I just want to send a big hey, what's up to Pep? You're doing a great job, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised in 20 minutes.
And Chris, this is it for Burnaby. There's no more second chances. There's no more tomorrow. They have to outscore St. Catharines by 3 goals in this final period in order to force a 7th and deciding game tomorrow night here at the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena. And if things go the way they have been so far tonight for the Lakers, they're not going to be able to do it. Andrew Leishon has to make sure he stops every single shot that comes his way here in the third period. And the Lakers and their stars like Olsen have to step up, and they have to do some scoring. A guy we haven't heard a lot from, Brown, he's got to step up in the third period. A lot of guys got to step up here in period number 3 if the Lakers have a shot. Just a shot at coming back.
Oh, definitely, and that's one thing. I was outside by the Burnaby Lakers in between periods, and I heard Leishon saying there are no more tomorrows if we don't win this one. And Lindsey Plunkett, he was also chiming in, letting the other guys know that for some guys, this could be their last game ever. So they don't want to lose this one, so look for them to come out very pumped, very excited, very, very ready to go.
Third period action is underway, 19:52 to go. The Lakers are the home team tonight. They will move from left to right on your screen here in the third period. The A's are the road team. They will move from right to left, but let's not make any mistakes. This crowd of 3,500 plus is 110% behind the St. Catharines Athletics in their run for a national championship. Lakers down to the offensive zone. Penalty on the way against St. Catharines as Nenad Dykes was taken down. John Donnelly will head to the box, and Burnaby gets an early power play.
Burnaby sure learned how to sell these things. Now, I'm not taking anything away. That was a penalty. It was a high stick from Donnelly right across the back of the neck. However, we've seen these guys playing physical, and they're not nearly as frail as the injuries they seem to be incurring for 4-second spurts. You see here Donnelly just coming in and goes right over Nenad's back. And so 32 seconds in, Burnaby's very pumped up. They're not pumped up, they're mad. We could just hear them as they were coming out onto the floor. And as Chris was saying, mentioning that there are no tomorrows, they have to leave everything on the line right now and leave everything out on the floor. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, yes, well, and you'd think St. Catharines would think the same thing too. However, there's always that nagging doubt in the back of your head that St. Catharines has it tomorrow. They don't want to use it, but it is there in their pocket. Now, the question here is going to be, if they can kill off this penalty, or contain the Burnaby offense for a little bit, whether they're going to be able to take advantage of Burnaby's sense of urgency and see if Burnaby starts to try and force some stuff as time ticks down.
Andrew, there's been so much discussion, not only here in St. Catharines, but nationally, about Don Smith's comments before Game 3, guaranteeing me that St. Catharines was going to win that game. And now Don Smith has made more predictions. He guaranteed me tonight they would win this game. And Don Smith's going to come out looking real rosy. If St. Catharines could hold on to the lead here, he will have made 4 predictions and been right 4 times, and that's batting 1,000.
Well, let's not pull out the Coach Go jinx on anything yet. There've been a couple games without it, and I think the viewing audience anyway would like to turn that into 5.
Ball bounces deep into Burnaby territory. Leishon gets the pass ahead, intercepted though by Billy D. Smith. He'll run it over top of mid-floor and then drop it off up along the far side for Mark Steenhouse. A's killing off this penalty for the next 1:15. Here's the guy to do it. Mark Steenhouse gets it back up by Kahn, taken down. Steenhouse still has a hold of that ball. Trying to rag it in between 2 Burnaby Lakers. Now Snyder gets him into a headlock and DDTs him a la Jake the Snake Roberts down to the concrete. But Panicia able to come up with a loose ball. Still has it. Now has the lane. Fakes one, shoots. Goal! Mark Panicia, shorthanded, has given the A's a 6
think that was a fake. I think he meant to fake it, and LeSean didn't go for the fake. Let's get a look at this because I didn't see the second shot. Now here comes Panicia with a quick one. Okay, there is the fake and a nice quick move. Gets to the other side. I didn't even see him make the second one. I just saw him make the fake, and then the ball ended up in the back of the net. Now usually Steenhouse or Kahn are the ones that you're going to expect on the short-handed attempt to try and score a goal. I think Panicia caught him off surprise, especially when he didn't go for it the first time. It's exactly what St. Catharines needed. Whatever pep talk Burnaby just got, that's gone.
I think it's safe to assume that's not what Burnaby wanted to do to start off period number 3. They got a power play and they allow a short-handed goal. Oops.
And now they've only got 30 seconds left on this power play if they're even going to come out of the affair even.
They work it near side. Plunkett though, waiting for that pass. It never got to him. Loose ball up along the near half board. Goal sitting there fighting with Plunkett, but it's swatted away by Jamie Flores and picked up by brother Greg Flores. He'll walk it over top of mid-floor and then dump it off far side to Steenhouse. 8 seconds to go in the Laker power play. A's have scored shorthanded here to get period number 3 going and lead it 6-3. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Drennan for the call live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Here's Steenhouse again. And we're back to 5-on-5, 17-19 to go. Here's Steenhouse cutting in, takes the shot as he's ridden down to the floor. And we've got a loose ball in behind the Burnaby net, and the Lakers will take over.
Take this chance. We'll tell you that Steenhouse story we mentioned him before very quickly in a local paper the other day. He said he got his ball skills because he got addicted to the sport. He only started playing about 4 years ago, and he wouldn't put his stick down. He walked around with it everywhere, and he always had a ball in it, and that's how he's figured out how to walk around everywhere, even if there's guys slashing at you.
We're not talking like around the house. We're talking the grocery store, the laundromat, the school, everywhere. That explains it.
Burnaby finally getting some offense going here in the first period.
And believe it or not, Andrew, I think there's more people in this building than there was, 30 minutes ago, because it is jam-packed in here. They're going 3 deep in behind the nets.
Yeah, well, there's, it's going to be interesting to see the 4 security guards try and block everybody from running on the floor if this game ends the way it stands right now. A 3-goal lead for St. Catharines. A fantastic effort so far by St. Catharines. 5 unanswered goals here. Coming back from 3-1 about halfway through the second period, and they've just turned on the afterburners.
Lakers holding on to it. Here's Benning. Gets it back to Plunkett. Pass in close, but Fines couldn't handle it. Now we've got a player sliding into the far corner. It's Taylor Ray. Burnaby will hold on to possession. Ball circling the boards deep inside Laker territory. LeSean wanders out of his net to pick it up.
Oddly enough, Ray's helmet came off. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
Wow.
Back up to mid-floor. Here's Gwindon. He'll walk it in. Lakers seemingly trying to slow this pace down a bit here, and more delays. Finally, we'll get going. Here's Gwindon up high. Looking for someone. Penalty on the way against Dave Bowman. And the Lakers are going to another power play as McKinnon was taken down. Bowman playing very physical so far tonight, but I don't know if this is a good thing for the Lakers because they just given up a shorthanded goal. That makes 2 tonight.
Yeah, and if the ball gets into Steenhouse's hand, 2 minutes later, and they get to run around without having to turn the ball over. So Bowman takes a body slamming penalty is basically what it is. And that was loud. And you can hear that all the way up here. And McKinnon's not even a particularly big kid. And give him full credit as well for bouncing right back up and heading back to the bench.
2 minutes up on the board against St. Catharines and Dave Bowman. So Burnaby with another power play. We'll see if that results in another shorthanded goal by the A's. Lakers though control it. Here's Taylor Ray outside the Laker bench. He'll dump it off before heading to the bench for a change. Here's Gary Benning now. If anybody can get these guys going, it's the little speedster. He'll work it far side. Olsen now down low, back up high to Olsen. Here's Lindsey Plunkett. Olsen far circle. His pass deflected by Greg Flores into the far corner. Now Billy D. Smith comes diving in with his javelin, but it comes back to Olsen. Now on the other side, Benning, his shot blocked. Then he gives Blaze a couple of shots. St. Catharines is going to take over, but I think Burnaby's pretty frustrated right now, Andrew. They're trying to take some shots. They're not getting through, and then they're giving the A's defenders a couple of whacks with their stick.
I think St. Catharines will be happy just to get him frustrated and keep turning the ball over like that. Nice pass from Steenhouse to Kahn there.
Here's Kahn. He'll work it around. Gets bounced to the outside, and now we've got an injured goaltender. It's Andrew LeSean. And if he's acting, he's doing a great job, but it was his own man that ran into him.
No St. Catharines players anywhere near the play. I'm not even sure what happened there.
Curtis Hodgson ran into him. I don't know how, but he did.
Leishon went down. It looked like he was grabbing his knee there. And the A's very smartly are heading back to their bench. First of all, check to make sure Vince is allowed to go to his bench to get some water, but Steve Fennell taking a good opportunity this little timeout to get him some briefing too. Really, that's just odd because St. Catharines was slowing the play up fairly well. And so Hodgson really didn't have any reason to be running that hard that he couldn't tell where his goalie was down around his crease. So it's kind of an odd thing to have happen. One thing I wanted to point out there, which I haven't noticed this before on St. Catharines' penalty kill, they're playing a diamond defense there. So instead of the regular box, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, it's 1 at the top, 1 at the back, and 2 on the sides. And that may be a reaction to Burnaby's power play, which tends to run off shots from the top, from the point, basically. So now they've got a guy who's up there a lot closer to him, shutting him down. Did a good job the last couple of power plays. They had 3 time clock violations.
And they are working on Leishon's right knee. A couple of female trainers for the Burnaby Lakers. I'm surprised he's not saying, am I...
Stop. Game 6 of the Minto Cup Championship. There's better things to think about. Well, not for you, but for most people. There's more important things to think about. And you do hope, fortunately Nick Patterson has played some in this series, because you would hate to see that when you're trying to get into this, that you lose your starting goalie and throw in a guy who's totally cold.
One guy who's been very happy with his starting goaltender is A's head coach Don Smith. We'll hear my conversation with him before the game right now.
I think we started to get a sense for it in the Beaches series, and then 13-12 overtime win in Whitby. That was game 3. We were up 2-0. It would have been an easy game for them to just say, oh, well, we'll give Whitby this one and come back and win, in St. Catharines the next night. And they didn't. They just bared down and decided we're going to have a sweep here. We're not going to play an extra game. And they did what they had to. They weren't playing a good game. It was one of our worst games in weeks, but they still just... Rory Glaves got up in the dressing room in between periods. He doesn't usually talk a lot. He made a speech. That's the great thing about this team. They're a team. We got great players, Sean Greenhall, Craig Kahn, Matt Vince, but they don't act that way in the dressing room. They're just one of 20 guys, and they all respect each other. And they're all willing to, pitch in. If Craig's having a bad game, Mark Steinhaus will score. If Mark's off, then Mark Panici will. It's truly a team effort, and for the whole coaching staff, that just really makes it an enjoyable team to be around.
I know one of the best parts about
I was skeptical,
guys, but they are handling Mark Leishon very, very gingerly and moving him off the floor. So the Burnaby Lakers, who are in dire straits to begin with, are going to have to put their backup goaltender, number 30, Nick Patterson, into the game. This is the first time we've seen Patterson since game number 3. That 10-5 blowout by the Athletics. Patterson came in about midway through the second period, Andrew. Played well, but, oh boy, this is a tough situation to come into, isn't it?
Leishon is in a severe amount of pain. He can't even move that leg. He can't put any pressure on it. And it's horrible to see for a young kid. I mean, you really got to hope between him and Milan Gaich that the 2 of them end up okay out of this. And these are just small short-term injuries because, well, it is a national championship. It's nothing that's worth losing some ability over, and especially as Gaich was drafted last weekend, Leishon property of the Ottawa Rebel as well. They've got promising lacrosse futures ahead of them. Now it's going to be interesting to see what happens to this Burnaby bench here. Already deflated off that short-handed goal. Now trying to get something going here. And to lose their starting goalie, who's been doing a very good job of keeping them in a lot of these games, it's not a good situation for them to get into right here.
Well, the good news for the Burnaby Lakers is they get a couple of guys onto the floor who don't see much action. Manzi and Oliverio.
Now, one good thing, actually, that I was just thinking, not that anything good's going to come out of an injury like that. However, we have seen that when Burnaby's been down a couple of goals in this series, they've pulled Leishon and put Patterson in because he's faster and throws the ball a little better on a breakout. Now, you're at the point here where you need 3 goals, and so we're not invoking the Andrew McKay rule by any means. However, to get those 3 goals, you've got 15 minutes and 36 seconds to put some emphasis on offense. And to do that, I mean, really, if they score against you again anyway, the thing's probably over. So now you've got a goalie in there who's a little bit faster, can get to loose balls a bit better, and might be able to get the breakout going a bit better. It's not so much about the saves right now, it's about assuming that he made the save, and let's see what he can do with the ball afterwards. So that might play a bit into Burnaby's favor here.
So now if you're Nick Patterson, are you feeling a lot of pressure right now, or are you coming in feeling what you just said?
I don't think so. I think Nick Patterson's probably been looking forward to this. I mean, we've been around guys this entire series who haven't been playing or haven't been playing very much, and they're frustrated. They want to get into the game. So you can't, and Nick Patterson's played a lot of games for this Burnaby Lakers team, so he can't be going out on the floor all of a sudden scared to play and worried about it. He's been waiting for this, and now he's got more than 2 minutes on the floor. He's got some time to play and some time to prove himself.
Hey, half the kid's head is green. I don't think he's intimidated by too many things. Pressure isn't one of them. Quick pass in, Panicia looking for that loose ball. He'll grab it into the far corner, sneaks out. Hayes still short-handed for the next 57 seconds. Now Craig Kahn chasing down the ball up along the far side. Farina, though, backs it over the glass. Now we've got an injured player down, and it's Mark Panicia deep inside the Burnaby end. Kahn's going to help him to the bench, but Panicia favoring his right leg by the looks of things.
That looks like just like a little bit of a twist or something, whether it's his right knee or his right ankle.
Maybe a stinger.
Heading back, but not nearly as bad as the two major injuries we've seen in the series so far.
Burnaby will control the ball deep inside the St. Catharines zone. They've got 4 guys, 1 guy on each corner of the box. Now Olsen leads the rush, gets it up to Brown, now near side, Plunkett back to Brown near circle. Olsen works it far side. Geitch down low, looks for Olsen, comes back up high. Now Plunkett wires the shot in. Right back to Plunkett, comes the rebound. Now far side, here's Geitch. Gets it over to Olsen, back to Plunkett, throwing the low shot in. Finds, grabs the rebound, shoots, scores! Kevin Fines on the power play has scored the Lakers' 4th of the night, and Burnaby is back to within 2.
A good performance there by Burnaby on the power play, as Plunkett just kept firing and kept missing the net. But they kept reacting to where the ball was. Instead of letting the ball get down or letting St. Catharines pick up the loose ball, they reacted first, got on top of it. So they turned 3 missed shots into 1 very sustained scoring effort, and Kevin Fines finishes it off from in close.
And what a huge goal that is for the Burnaby Lakers. 14:50 to go, still lots of time. It's a good thing you didn't invoke that Andrew McKay 10-minute rule.
Not in the Minto Cup, that's just stupid.
Here's Benning, gets it up high, now Glendon. Burnaby with a bit of momentum, a bit more jump in their step after that goal. Glendon throws it into the far corner now. Here comes Taylor Ray. Cuts to the top of the crease, wires the shot in. Vince makes the save, knocks the rebound into the far corner, and the Lakers have a new shot clock. Quick fake is brought by Taylor Ray. Loose ball up the near side, grabbed by Gary Benning. He looks to cut in, fires it over. Here's Geitch in front, takes the shot. Vince makes the save. Loose ball near side, snapped up by Kim Ham. Ham runs it in behind the goal. Bounce pass up the right wing for John Donnelly. Now Donnelly heads to the bench, but not before getting it off to Sean Greenhall. 14 minutes exactly to play in the third period. A's leading the Lakers 6-4. Derek Wheels alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Dredden for the call. Live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. Shot by Greenhall. Grabbed by Tim Ham on the rebound. He dumps it up high to Steenhouse. Long shot in. That one goes wide just as the shot clock expires, and the Lakers quickly take over. Here's Brown making his way down the right side. Matt Brown could be the guy to step up for the Lakers. Their second leading goal scorer and tied for the team lead in points during the regular season. So we know that Matt Brown could put that ball in the net. Question is, can he do it the next 13-22?
He hasn't done it very much in the series so far. He's been fairly silent, so you're exactly right. They need to step up. Dan Bowen banged up a bit too by the end of that last play, favoring his right arm, getting some treatment right now.
Here's Craig Kahn again being ridden by Nick Farina. And Kahn, he goes down. He doesn't even bother trying to waste his energy getting up. Says a little hello to Nick Farina. When he does get up, the A's have possession and will wind a long shot in, but it was wide just as the shot clock expires. Now Kahn gives Farina a shot. And Kahn's going to go to the box, and oh boy, that's cheap.
It's actually, Kahn was roughing up Jeff Snyder afterwards. As Snyder came in to yap a bit, and now, not exactly sure. Okay, Craig Kahn had headed to his bench. Now he's heading into the box.
That was cheap.
Now, also not smart by Craig, though. He needs to be on the floor right now.
Another power play for the Burnaby Lakers. We'll see if they can take advantage. Keep in mind, the last time they got a pretty nice power play, meaning that it really wasn't a flagrant penalty or a flagrant foul. They scored, so it's up to Burnaby now to take advantage of this rather soft call against Craig Kahn.
Well, and so far, they did get that power play goal on Bowman's penalty. After the lengthy delay, it still was the power play going on, but certainly that may have erased some of the doubts, but you got to be worried about St. Catharines shorthanded. They've been very effective this entire series, taking possession over and killing off a lot of time and a lot of momentum, something that Burnaby wants to avoid here.
Now, the one thing Burnaby does have to guard against is opening up the offense too much, because St. Catharines deadly shorthanded. They've got 2 shorthanded goals so far tonight.
As you mentioned, they still need 2 more goals, so they're still going to be looking for this offensive thrust here.
They need 3 more goals. 6-6 is going to earn them nothing.
There's the turnover, 7 seconds into the power play.
Beautiful play there by Rory Glaves. He'll move it up the right wing. John Donnelly, far half boards, taken in hard. Oh my. And that was a bit of a late hit by the captain, Mark Miyashita. Donnelly's slow in getting up, and the capacity crowd here in St. Catharines didn't like that one too much.
Miyashita's lucky he didn't get a penalty on this, as he basically put his hand on Donnelly's back and threw him into the boards, but St. Catharines would be just as happy, just take the ball back.
Here's Steenhouse. He's been absolutely outstanding again on the power or penalty kill tonight. Gets it in front. Greenhall takes the shot. He just missed. Rebound is corralled by the Lakers. Taylor Ray will lead the rush before heading to the bench. He'll dump it off to Nenad Gaich just over top of mid-floor. 1:19 to go in the Burnaby power play. 12-13 to go here in the third period. St. Catharines leading this one 6-4. Near side Plunkett. He goes down low. Brown back to Plunkett, back to Brown. He gets it over to Gaich, far post. Taking the shot was Fines, but he rang it off the right arm of Matt Vince. Now Plunkett with the lane, but Burnaby taking far too much time, and then a really late shot there by Kevin Fines. Somehow Burnaby keeps this play alive. They'll get it in behind the net. Here's Brown again, looking for some room. Gets it up high. Gaich takes the shot, just missed that near goal post. Now the rebound. Fines winds one in, but that one goes off the end boards all the way back down the floor. Now Patterson gets it ahead. 35 seconds to go in the power play, and the Lakers have a new shot clock. Billy D. Smith, though, he's able to grab that loose ball, bounces it into the far corner. Sean Greenhall chasing it down. He's corralled and ridden into the boards, but he comes out of it with the ball. Now it comes loose. Steenhouse poking it free. Greenhall in there as well, but Jeff Snyder able to come out of the pile with it as he gets it ahead for Hodgson. Now 10 seconds to go in the Laker power play. They'll try for one last quick rush down the floor. Here's Lindsey Plunkett. Real big guy. We'll see if he can come up with a big goal here for Burnaby. Works it far side. The power play has now ended, and we're back to 5-on-5 with 10:50 to go. Up high in the crease. Here comes Brown. Bounces the shot in. Vince, though, quickly closes up that 5-hole, and we'll work it up the far side for the captain, Dan Bowman.
Beautiful penalty kill by St. Catharines, being aggressive in the Burnaby end. Also, it looks like they're trying to get a couple of quick shots on Nick Patterson, see if they can beat him before he's really warmed up and into the game.
Here's Craig Kahn. High in the slot. St. Catharines will utilize that shot clock now. Works it ahead. Kevin Dean can't handle the pass. Kahn gets it back. 2 on the shot clock. He'll wind a long shot in right off Miyashita, and then he gave him a cross check to the head. The officials didn't see it. Miyashita sure did, as the shaft of Craig Kahn's lacrosse stick came underneath of the captain of the Burnaby Lakers mask.
Well, this is one of those things that you dance with the girl what brung you. And if you want to try and get Craig Kahn going, every once in a while they're not going to call it, and if you know he's going to hit you back, sometimes you're going to get a hit.
Now Nick Patterson utilizing that speed you mentioned. He's all the way up to mid-floor. Works it ahead, near side for Gary Binning. 9:55 to go in the third period. St. Catharines has a 2-goal lead. Here's Binning in front, knocked off the ball by Dan Bowman. Now we've got Dave Bowman giving his man a bit of a headlock as Kevin Fines tried breaking towards that goal. But St. Catharines will take over. Matt Vince works it ahead. Here's Greenhall off the St. Catharines bench. And the goal, A's go chance starts here from the jam-packed Jack Gate Cliff Arena. They can smell a championship, and it's just 9.5 minutes away. Here's Hamonic long shot. Rebound into the corner. A's surprisingly don't get a new shot clock. Greenhall's got it up high, and we've got a possession foul coming up against St. Catharines, and what's going on, Andrew?
Bill Fox is trying to signal him to reset it, and nobody had reset it. It was reset on the other end, I think, but it wasn't resetting. This is going to be a St. Catharines possession. Obviously, that shot hit Nick Patterson right in the chest. So the shot clock kept winding down, but there should have been a fresh 30 on it. So at the very worst, it's going to be at about 15 seconds or so. As Greenhall tried to pull the ball back out to slow the play down. Then he looked up and realized only 3 seconds on the shot clock when that should have been a reset. So.
Thank you very much.
And now they're having trouble with the 2 shot clocks where they're running on different times, oddly enough. I just looked up, one said 22 and the other one said 13. So
okay, now they're the same.
I think they're having trouble with stopping one of them.
The A's have 29 on the shot clock.
No, that's about right. That seemed like exactly a second to me. Now there's 25 and 30.
Oh boy. All right, we're gonna have to get these problems sorted out.
We'll be timing the rest of the game with a sundial. So if anybody has a flashlight and can put it at exactly 98 degrees altitude, we'd very much appreciate it.
What were you, a chief scout or something?
Mark Panicia is still getting his knee worked on over there, by the way. This is perfect vantage point. Burnaby players we can't see, but we can see right down towards where the trainer's table is for the Athletics. Panicia doesn't look to be in a lot of pain. Looks to be getting taped up. Hasn't taken his shirt off, so I think we'll see it back.
All right, we might have to use your sundial because the shot clock.
They've turned that one off. They're using the one on the other side of the arena, so
that's going to make things difficult. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, but if one goes off, aren't both supposed to go off?
No, because it's still more reliable than using the referee with the watch on.
My point is, it gives an advantage to Burnaby because St. Catharines has to look behind him to find out how much time's on the clock. Here comes Snyder in. He said sliding like an out-of-control toboggan into the end boards just as he took that shot. But, oh my, what a chance for the Lakers.
Nice job by Billy D. Smith to just track Snyder down, get him at exactly the last second. Snyder holding onto the ball, and the second he wound up to shoot, Smith hit him, knocked him down, and he was completely vulnerable.
Here's Craig Kahn now. A's have 10 on the shot clock. Kahn, far side. Greenhall takes the shot. Rebound to Kahn. Winds it in. Nearly found the 5-hole, but Patterson, who's obviously much more rested than is Andrew Leishon, he got those legs spread into the butterfly position very quickly, Andrew, and Nick Patterson's looked pretty good so far since coming into this one.
He's certainly doing what he's being asked to by coming in and filling in at a pretty inopportune time. He's stepping up to the task.
Loose ball bouncing around the St. Catharines end, taking the shot from in front of that A's goal was Olsen, but he was knocked into the crease as Bill Fox points into the blue area. Remember that old TV show, Blue Thunder?
With the helicopter?
Yeah, it was a good show.
That was a horrible show.
I liked it.
Airwolf was so much fun.
Airwolf was great. Airwolf and Knight Rider, my favorite 2 shows as a kid. Here comes Kevin Dean. Some people call him the Airwolf. No, they don't.
Those shows weren't even on when you were a kid.
Knight Rider.
90210 was on when you were a kid.
That was when I was in high school. Here's Tim Ham, bounces it ahead. Pat Russell can't knock it down. Nick Patterson, though, does. He'll play it up the right side for Nick Farina. He decides to head off for a change, and the Lakers will control it deep inside the St. Catharines zone. Patterson wandering out of that crease up to the top of the circles. 7:21 now to go in the third period. Booyah chance starts here from the Jack Gate Cliff. Lakers trying to get a bit closer. They trail by 2, 6-4. They've got 7 on the shot clock. Here's Taylor Ray being manhandled by Matt Skinner. Loose ball now into the far corner. It's picked up by Dave Bowman. Bowman works it up the right side. Jay Levesque, he'll head off for a change and then dump it off to Sean Greenhall. Greenhall slowly walking it inside Burnaby territory. A's, remember, don't have that shot clock that they can see in their own offensive zone, so they're going to have to take a quick look back. Here comes Codd looking ahead towards that Burnaby net, but he couldn't sneak it by Nick Patterson. Lakers able to control the rebound. They'll move it back up to mid-floor. Here's Jeff Snyder. 6:30 to go now in the period. Snyder, far side, looking for a man in front. They've got 17 on the shot clock. Parks himself like a broken down Hugo in that far corner. Now gets it back. Quick shot coming in from Hansen. That bounced just wide. Now it's knocked down, but St. Catharines will take over.
Burnaby offense very frustrated off that last shift. Andrew Gwindon was all over Gary Binning as they went to the bench. Couldn't exactly make out what he was saying, but he was saying it loud and he was saying it mean.
And we've got a stoppage in play. Nick Patterson pointing towards something in the Burnaby crease. I believe he's saying there's a wet spot. Another stalling tactic by the Lakers.
Well, I can't imagine Patterson needs any rest yet. He's only been in the game for 7 minutes, so.
I'm not saying Nick Patterson does, but I'm sure Nick Patterson was instructed that if you get a chance to take a break and rest up your teammates, go ahead and do it.
You'd also think that if your goalie just went down and possibly tore up his knee, you want to make sure if there's, because don't forget that crease is painted, and because of it, it gets slicker than the rest of the floor does in a hurry. You get any kind of moisture down there, and you've had a couple people driving at the crease so far. A bit of moisture down there, and your leg can go flying up from underneath you with no control. So, and if it rests up St. Catharines, all the better. You give St. Catharines offense a chance to rest here and get the right set of guys out on the floor. You're really not complaining there either. I'm pretty sure that Don Smith, Steve Fennell, and Les Bartley are just as happy to get their guys a couple of seconds here as they get into the crunch time.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you mentioned that the creases are slicker. That sounds a lot like Chris Drennan's nickname, Slickster.
I wasn't aware of that, no. I thought it was Peaches.
Well, that's how my day is going, peachy. Here's Steenhouse. He's got a peach-colored shirt on. Back up to the near side, here's Gary Binning. See if he can use that speed. He hasn't shown it as much tonight as we saw in games 3, 4, and 5. Now Lindsey Plunkett trying to bowl his way towards the net. Playing pass back and forth and behind that St. Catharines goal. Comes out in front, Billy D. Smith taking some whacks at it, but Burnaby will hold on to it. There's Binning. Lakers now have a new shot clock. There's only 5:35 to go now in the third period. St. Catharines leading 6-4. Quick shot comes in. Rebound corralled by Binning. Backhand pass in front. McKinnon takes the shot, but Matty Vince comes up with a big save.
Huge stop by Vince there, keeping an eye on where the ball was after Ray's shot went wide.
Kahn is absolutely decked, and that looked like a play we saw last night, a blindside body check. That's not allowed, is it?
No, that was completely checking from behind, but looks like Fox and Getty have decided 5 minutes left. It's going to have to be homicide. Attempted homicide won't cut it.
Quick shot in by Kahn, and the guy has been like the Energizer Bunny, and I don't know how. He is playing so mature for a 21-year-old. Never mind, he's 17. Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, that threw me off when I was talking to Mo before. And he's thinking, you know, when Craig's 18, he's really going to be grown up. And what's funny is we were talking about Craig going to UMass. And my baseball coach in high school went to teach at UMass, and I went down there for a weekend once. And while Craig may rule St. Catharines, I'm going to come down one weekend just to watch how he's fitting in at Amherst. Because I think that'd just be amusing. It's a bit of a party town, let's say.
Yes.
Imagine Port Dalhousie if there were 80 of them strung side by side.
Oh, jeez.
And then everybody got up to go to class the next morning.
Listen, what song's on? Oh, you start singing?
Oh, of course I don't.
Prince?
No.
1999.
There's no such thing as little Prince. There's Santa Claus in the audience.
Gifts
too, so
all
that's
over.
nice to see.
Wow.
Okay, I had a really bad joke I was going to throw in there, but I can't even do that.
Well, must be a big game if Santa's making the trip down all the way from the North Pole. I wonder where Mrs. Claus is.
Yeah,
Where's Rudolph?
I have to. The A's are hoping Christmas comes early in the next 4 minutes and 53 seconds in the form of a Minto Cup championship. And that's exactly what they would say on like CBC, right?
No, you should have went with your first instinct not to say it.
I couldn't help it.
Always go with your instincts, Andrew.
My instincts are bad. That's how I ended up in this booth next to you, Derek. Instinct.
4:53 is the time remaining in the third period, and my instincts tell me St. Catharines is less than 5 minutes away from the Minto Cup.
That's not instinct, that's learning how to tell time.
Now the wave going around the Jack Gate Cliff, Andrew. We'll do it up in the broadcast booth.
And they've actually got it going pretty well, too. I think the next couple of minutes, this building's just going to get louder and louder.
That's a great wave. Look at it.
It's fantastic.
That's terrific.
If you're wondering if anybody still does wave anymore, there's 3,000 people in St. Catharines have been waiting for years for a chance to do it, and it's still going.
Even the Burnaby fans getting into it. Not quite as many, but
start doing it. That'd be kind of fun.
We're doing it up here in the broadcast booth, as a matter of fact. Less than 4.5 to play in the third period. St. Catharines 6, Burnaby 4. The wave is going, and a tidal wave is getting set to hit Booyah Island. Quick shot in. That's just wide of the near post. Up along the far side. It's grabbed by Patterson. He works it ahead to mid-floor. Here's Jeff Snyder. Drops it off to Plunkett. Lakers taking their sweet time here with 4 minutes to go.
Plunkett not happy about this pass as he wasn't actually trying to head onto the floor. Snyder threw it to him, slowed down a bit of transition. We're now 13 seconds, and they haven't really set anything up yet.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Lakers. Loose ball swatted high in the air. Jay Levesque leaps up like a bullfrog to grab that. He'll take it from in behind the goal. Patterson now going back and forth between that Burnaby net and that Burnaby bench as the Lakers try to get the sixth attacker on the floor, and that really tells you how desperate their situation is. Here's Steenhouse. He has it up high. A's have 11 seconds on the shot clock. That wild shot comes in, deflects over the glass and out of play. Patterson winds it all the way down the floor. Nearly went over the glass, and Gary Benning was hammered by Billy D. Smith. A penalty on the way against St. Catharines, and with 3:20 to go, this is the open door the Burnaby Lakers needed to get. They're going to have a power play, Andrew.
Good call by Fox, and Smith's going to be lucky if he doesn't get 5 here for charging. Same kind of play we saw last night on Pat Russell, as you can see right here. And now he steps in, leaves his feet basically, goes right after him. Now he did step to the side a bit, but you can't take a run at a guy for 75 feet across the floor out of intimidation and make any contact with him whatsoever.
Everybody in this arena, 3,500 plus,
penalty,
staring at that score clock, and it's going to be 5, Andrew.
Which means that Bill Fox didn't actually see the hit, he saw the run at it, because as we saw in the replay, Billy Smith didn't actually hit him very much. His body went flying into the side of the boards next to Benning, and it was basically his hands that got him. But still, you take what you created, and it was completely the fact that Smith took that run right across the floor, right at him, and went and took that shot at Benning. That you got to take that risk then if you're going to get called with that kind of a penalty. But sometimes it's going to turn out to be a major, because sometimes it's more the intent than what actually ends up happening.
Gary Benning up and off to the Burnaby bench, and that 5-minute penalty up on the board. 3:20 is the time remaining in regulation. St. Catharines has the lead 6-4. Derek Wills alongside Andrew McKay and Chris Strennan for the call, live on Cogeco TV 10 Niagara. And be sure to stay with us if the A's do wrap it up tonight. We will have some interviews from down on the floor as well. We'll wrap up the entire season. What a great one it's been. And this series, it's been great as well.
Speaking of wrapping up the season, wouldn't it be beautiful to see Mark Steenhouse rag the ball for 3 minutes and 20 seconds on a penalty kill?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, would that be fantastic? This place would go insane.
I'd go insane. I love it.
Sure.
I've hopped on the Mark Steenhouse bandwagon. There's no doubt about that.
A couple of rough spots early on in the season, but he's really shown up when it counted and really made himself a player to be reckoned with.
Loose ball bounces all the way down the floor. Patterson wandering around like a vagabond. Finally gets it ahead. Here's Taylor Ray at mid-floor. 4:45 to go in the power play. Now 3 minutes to go in regulation time. This place getting set to erupt here in Game 6. Lakers, though, have one last gasp here on the power play. They get it near side. Matty Vince, will grab it with that left hand. He's playing hockey out there. He's got the trapper going, Andrew.
Anything you can do to get your hands on the ball, literally, for Vince, and it's working, so why complain?
Here's Mark Steenhouse. This is what the fans are waiting for. This is what we're waiting for. Mark Steenhouse ragging that ball. He's got it outside the St. Catharines bench. Still has it. Knocked out. He's still got it. Tried poking it ahead. Hamanuk leaping up for it. Now Kahn in the scrum, but Jeff Snyder able to grab it for the Lakers. Burnaby has 2:17 to go. They need 2 goals, but we've got a timeout being called by Burnaby. Now 2:15 on the game clock, 3:55 to go in the power play, but only 2:15 of that will matter unless we head to overtime.
Beautiful job by St. Catharines there on the penalty kill, and I can understand the concept of putting Nick Farina and Mark Steenhouse because Nick Farina's been the most physical player for Burnaby in this series. However, physicalness doesn't work against Mark Steenhouse very much. You noticed I didn't use physicality. Physicalness doesn't work against him very much. You have to match him with speed and talent, and Farina doesn't have that. So it took two guys coming in to help him. It took about an extra 20 seconds off the clock as Steenhouse ran around. And that's really all they're looking for here, is for Steenhouse to kill the ball in 30, 45-second spurts. If he turns the ball over and takes another 10 seconds off the clock, he's going to be very happy with it.
Here we go, the final 2:15 of Game 6. We'll give you the story so far in this series. Burnaby winning an 8-7 double overtime victory in game number 1. They took the 1-0 series lead. Game 2, another close one. Burnaby again coming out on top, this time 6-4. Game number 3, that's where everything turned around. Don Smith guaranteed a win, and he was right. 10-5 was the margin of victory for the A's. Game number 4, again, an outstanding performance by St. Catharines. They get the win. They get the win in Game 5 the other night, 7-5, and here we are, just 2 minutes away from a Minto Cup. Quick shot in by Binnings, but Matt Vince able to make the stop, and Binnings up and okay, and he's back on the power play as the Burnaby net is empty. Now 1:50 to go. Lakers need 2 goals. Binning in close. Plunkett gets it high in the slot. Olsen lines the shot, but Matty Vince comes up with a big save as Patterson jogs back to that Laker goal. Vince holding onto it for St. Catharines. Gets it up the near side. Here's Greg Flores, hammered, but he holds onto the ball. Now Nate Adguy's chasing him down into that near corner. 1:30 to go. These fans are getting set to explode here at the Jack Gatecliff Garden City Arena. Lakers, though, able to get the ball deep in their own zone. They bounce it ahead. Patterson will control it. Gets it up the near side. Now Taylor Ray. He'll dump it off to Binning. Binning will use that speed and work his way down along the right side. 1:10 to go. Here come the fans. They're ready. Here's Binning, far side. Working his way back up high. Ray, near side. Plunkett, redirection. Matt Vince comes up with a save.
St. Catharines very wisely calls a timeout here. Not only that, but Matt Vince stood in the crease, used up 4 of his 5 allowable seconds of possession before he called that timeout. Fans are up on their feet now. They're really starting to get into this. A bit apprehensive as they're facing 6-on-4, but now you don't have the 30-second shot clock to worry about. You've got your best ball possession guys. You got Steinhaus, Greenhall, and Cohen heading out onto the floor, and you're basically saying go right off for 56 seconds as if your life depended on it. The lacrosse life for the 2001 season does right now. They're that far away from the Minto Cup. This is going to be the best way for this team to go out, considering the defense they've played in the last 8-9 weeks. For them to go out killing off a big penalty, I think that's a huge thing, a huge, beautiful way for them to go out.
And just so you know, as soon as this play starts, Andrew, the 3,500 plus St. Catharines Athletics fans will be on their feet, cheering their boys home to a national championship.
Exactly. Here they go right now. And they're going to be cheering these guys every step of the way here, including the 4 guys with the CONN painted on their stomachs. Quite a sight to see coming down Geneva Street before the game. That was kind of cute. But and when Con scored a goal, he actually pointed up to him. So now he's trying to get out, throws the ball deep in.
The Burnaby net is empty. Here's Hominick, wide open net. Shoots! Scores! Mike Hominick! And you can put this one away. The A's, with 47 seconds to go in the 3rd period, have taken a 3-goal lead. And we're going to have new Minto Cup champions tonight.
There's nobody on the St. Catharines bench happier than right now. But Les Bartley got into junior A lacrosse about 2 months ago. I've been in it longer than he has. And he's all over. He's hugging everybody to get his hands on. He's very excited about this. As of course, Pierre Contreras, the St. Catharines president, rushes down behind the bench. You see Hominick right here. Doesn't even realize the net's open. Turns around and goes, oh, look what I got. Puts it softly into the net. After not scoring, he scores 2 huge goals tonight. rate some consideration for a Player of the Game award. Steps up huge. And right now, it's basically going to be academic. The Andrew McKay rule is in effect.
Here's Taylor Ray, gets it in close, big shot, big save by Matty Vince. Half a minute to go in the third period. Here come the Athletics. Lakers, pick shot, knocked away into the near corner. Lindsey Plunkett, rebound, up high. Olsen, Miyashita winds one in. That bounces wide. We've got another stoppage. Lakers, though, keep it going. Sneaking in, taking the shot. Was Geitz, but Vince makes the save as John Donnelly was knocked down inside the St. Catharines crease. And, oh boy, you hope this isn't anything serious. Donnelly looks like he's going to get up. He's got maybe
Matt Vince is very upset with Jeff Snyder. Seemed to see that play there. And I think Burnaby well advised, 11 seconds left here. The only thing dumb going on, to put Jeff Snyder on the bench. The season's over. You're not going to score 3 goals in 11 seconds. You put the guy that might have a big Z painted on his back. You put him on the bench. They're sending Snyder back out. I don't know if that's so smart because you got Glaves and the 2 Flores boys. But Dan Bowman, we've seen he's been emotional. And who knows what he might end up doing here.
Face-off will go to the left of Matt Vince. 11 seconds to go in this series. Flores lines up against Ray. Flores kicks it away. Miyashita trying to scoop it up. Pops it over to the far side. 5 seconds to go. Big shot. Vince makes the save. 3, 2, 1. And the Minto Cup is going home to Booyah Island. Booyah! Booyah! The St. Catharines Athletics are 2001 Minto Cup champions.
John Donnelly recovers in a hurry to jump almost directly over the glass. Never showed that much athleticism. Mark Panicia, his left knee taped up, looks over the floor to join Craig Kahn. You can see the 2 of them right there sharing this moment. Panicia is real proud, just as Don Smith and Rory Glaves too. I mean, these guys working this hard for this long, and you'd think they've been waiting 20 years like Ray Bork for a Stanley Cup. But this is what they've been looking for the entire year, and they're there now. And oddly enough, probably the least emotional guy out there is Matt Vince. The first guy to come over and hug him is Dean McLeod. As proud as anybody, Ontario's taking this title back. We're going to send Derek down to the floor to see if he can't track down a couple of these guys to get a word out of him. Burnaby over in the other end looking very dejected. Chris Drennan joins me now. You know, Sunday afternoon, basically, Burnaby probably thought they were really in the driver's seat.
Well, definitely Burnaby thought they were in the driver's seat, and they had good reason to think they were in the driver's seat. They had a 2-0 lead. Everything was going well for them, but St. Catharines, this tenacious team, this team that will not quit, this team that does not give up, all year long, they just kept on coming back.
There's some kind of cheap stuff going on here. Some of the A's more exuberant fans are being idiots and throwing bottles onto the floor again. It's okay for throwing your own players, but they're throwing them at the Burnaby team. I think Burnaby played a heck of a series here, and St. Catharines got all the breaks in the last 4 games, but Burnaby was just full credit for their effort and showed that they were one of the 2 best teams in this country. Unfortunately, over the last 5 nights, they were the 2nd best.
Well, definitely. My hat goes off to the Burnaby team, the Burnaby organization, and everyone involved.
And now as we get the shot of the crowd here, we're going to throw it down in just a moment here. As Derek Wills has managed to track down our best player of the last couple of games, Craig Kahn, getting a bit of a hug from Stockwell, so let's send it down to Derek with Craig Kahn.
It's celebration time for the St. Catharines Athletics. They are 2001 Minto Cup champions, and here's the guy that led them there, Craig Kahn. Great series. What's going through your mind right now?
Oh my God, I just want to celebrate, you know what I mean? It really hasn't sunk in yet, but we just won the Minto, baby, you know what I mean? The team, we deserved it. We played amazing, played a great team in Burnaby. Oh, I can't say enough about our team. We played amazing.
You guys have worked so hard for this all season long. At the beginning, you were the favorites. There was bumps in the road. How did you get over those bumps?
You know what? I think as the season went along, we just grew and grew as a team. And you know what? We've shown it before.
Hey, Wilsey, I like that.
We've shown it before. We're a playoff team, and when the going gets tough, we get tougher. You know what I mean?
Craig, I'm going to let you go celebrate. Congratulations. Great series. St. Catharines Athletics have done a phenomenal job. They've accomplished a phenomenal feat. We're going to bring Billy D. Smith in there. Billy, what a series for you. You played both the offensive and defensive roles. What's going through your head right now?
I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even explain the feeling. We were the underdogs all year, and we came up and did it.
Congratulations, Billy.
Team effort. Thank you.
We're going to now head upstairs to Andrew and Chris. Guys.
So Craig Kahn and getting his interview with Derek Wills, and of course John Donnelly, first of all, with the makeout session, and then Dave Bowman, the charter member of the Derek Wills fan club, comes in to join in on the fun. These kids are happy, that's for sure.
Oh, they're ecstatic, Andrew, and you know what? They deserve it. May 1st to August 31st, it was a long ride. And the reward at the end of the road, well, you can see it out on the floor right now, the Minto Cup, and they've earned it. These guys definitely have earned it.
You look emotional. How long have you been waiting for something like this?
I've been waiting since 1998. I've actually done a lot of work with the Athletics, and I mean it's just fantastic to know that some guys that I grew up watching play as youngsters, and you know, some really, really great lacrosse people that I respect are out there on the floor right now waiting to pick up this storied trophy.
If I take a look around, having been around, first of all, in the broadcast booth up here all season, and also on the other side of the bench through that first round of the playoffs and the conflict of interest series, as we like to call it, but also from last season, getting to know the St. Catharines team, to look at some of these guys on here. Mark Steenhouse, I'm really proud of. Mark Steenhouse has really gotten his acting gear from the beginning of the season.
Well, one guy that I'm definitely very impressed with is Kevin Dean. I'm sure if you had asked him at the beginning of the season, Kevin, do you think you'll be playing in a Minto Cup? He probably would have looked at you like you had two heads, but it's good to see him out here. He's one of the toughest players out there to come down from Burlington to St. Catharines. I'm just so happy for all these guys right now.
And now, for a little bit of a bittersweet moment, we're looking at a hug there between Mike Longboat out on the floor and Don Smith. Mike's had a very disappointing season by his own, he would relate it, had a knee injury for a good part of the season, had some trouble recovering. And during the time that he was injured, we saw the shift in offense to defense in the St. Catharines team. When he came back in, there really wasn't much of a role for him. To his credit, he showed up at the rink every night. He did his best. He played when they asked him to. He took what was given to him. And hopefully he feels like he's a part of this team, because he's probably the biggest person who was on this floor tonight who couldn't play in the game, who was important to it.
Oh, definitely, Andrew. Mike Longboat, he's a contributor. He's here every practice. It may not show up on the game sheet every night, but he's here for every game practice. And, you know, he's one of those guys on the bench trying to get guys motivated, trying to get guys up in the dressing room. And, you know, he's always there. And it's sad not to see him out there, but he is part of this team, and he will get a chance to lift that Minto Cup.
I think Bob Louie is going to calm down now.
I think Bob Louie is going to take the rest of the weekend off. A well-deserved weekend off.
Somehow I had this picture of Pierre Contouris in a 1936 Studebaker cruising up and down Geneva with the roof open, a couple of beers going. Third star of the game, Billy D. Smith. Fortunately, that penalty he took at the end didn't hurt him that much. We got clothing flying into the crowd now. I think Bob's thinking, come on guys, I paid for this, but Billy D. Smith, basically the St. Catharines player of the game. What's going to mention here? Nick Farina, and deserved too. Nick was a great pest this series, and started out, missed the first game out of suspension. The second game was basically gooning it up, and as he went along, he was the best defensive player probably throwing out there, and he was out there for a good last 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, Nick Farina, definitely one of Burnaby's better defensive players.
Otherwise known as the first star from St. Catharines, number 32, John Donnelly.
John Donnelly, the warrior of the game, and how fitting is that in a series that was totally run by defense? We have one of those anonymous guys out at the back who just go out and run their heads off. You could have given this to Glaze, give it to either of the Forrests, you could give it to Pat Russell, Dave Bowman, Dan Bowman. You could just put all their names on it. But that's a great recognition for the effort this defense has put out.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's recognition for the athletics system of defense first. And John Donnelly, it's nice to see him and his defensive contribution recognized.
Now presenting the silver medals. And they're presenting the silver medals to Burnaby. It's going to be Gene McLeod presenting silver medals to Burnaby, and I think this is actually the ceremonial. It's going to present one to the captain, Martin Ashman, going up, and this is not a walk he wanted to make, but showing good leadership by standing up strong here and representing his team well.
Well, Miashnik had a great series, and the entire Burnaby team had a great series. It's unfortunate that there has to be a winner and a loser. I'm just happy that St. Catharines are the winners.
And now the St. Catharines faithful getting into it. Dan Bowman basically limping up to pick up this gold medal. And he certainly looks like he didn't have anything left in the tank for a Game 7. Left it out on the floor tonight. But Dan as well, being a good captain, he's got that stoic face on him. And it's one of these days he's going to start jumping up and down yelling, woo, 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 woo. But it's not going to be when anybody else can see it.
Oh, I think a lot of these guys are going to be going to the dressing room and just doing their own little happy dance.
Catherine Patterson is going to present the Jim Bishop Award, which is presented to the player who has demonstrated that sportsmanship, team leadership, and outstanding play throughout the season and into the Minto Cup. We're commemorating and contributing Wes Patterson, who has passed away just recently. Wes Patterson involved with us up from Tuscarora in New York. If anybody's been in tournaments, they've seen his mobile home out front fixing sticks, and it's certainly a pleasure that his wife, Carol Patterson, presented the winner of the Jim Bishop Award to number 99,
Sean Greenhill wins the Jim Bishop Award for basically combining sportsmanship and ability. And to think that he was one cheap tripping call away in the last game of the season that was basically a shadow trip. Going through this entire season with the numbers he had, the how many he got without any penalties as it is, he ended up with 2 penalty minutes all year.
And 2 penalty minutes in the playoffs, but Sean's one of those guys that he can take a bad penalty and everybody's going to look the other way.
and who else can that be but the goaltender for St.
We have Matt Vince being named MVP of the Minto Cup Championships. Well deserved, as Matt's had a fantastic season, and he just picked his game up a notch in the Minto Cup.
Certainly one of the things we've been talking about, how strong the St. Catharines defense has been throughout this series. But when you look at the shots coming into tonight, Burnaby was averaging about 35 shots a night, and they were only scoring 5 goals on them. So that's 35 shots that were hitting them. 5 were going in. And you can see the frustration in players like Jeff Snyder and even the last couple of games, Kevin Olsen, really not being able to break through on him anymore. They ran into a goalie they haven't seen before.
Oh, definitely. Matt Vince is one of those fantastic goalies. You're lucky if you get one to come along every 10 years, but he's fantastic.
And now here's what they've been waiting for. Dan Bowman stepping up, meeting Judy Ternastich. And this is what they've been waiting for all year, thinking about for a lot longer. For a lot of these guys, it came a lot earlier than it usually comes to players. And a lot of these guys will be around for another 3 years after this. Dan Bowman's got 1 year left. Just like we said, he didn't have to leave it to Game 7. He's glad he didn't have to leave it till his last year junior as well. Picking up the 2001 Minto Cup. And now watch these guys explode.
Ladies and gentlemen, well-deserved and hard-earned.
They've been so stoic and so mature all the way through this series. And now, they're turning into schoolboys again, and it's what they've been waiting for. Absolutely beautiful. Now, let's see what he predicts this time as Derek managed to pull Don Smith aside once again.
This this guy stepped on a very thin limb in order to get his team going after game number 2. Head coach of the A's, Don Smith. Don, congratulations. What a series. How are you feeling right now?
Unbelievable. Doesn't get any better than this. It's the greatest team I've ever been associated with. Those guys, they're just unbelievable. They're the greatest.
I know you got
so hard. They didn't give up when they got down 2-0. They just kept plugging away. I think this is a great way to win it, coming from behind. It shows their heart. It's probably better than if we would have come out and just blown them away.
Earlier in the week, you and I spoke about the fact of getting this first one out of the way and then looking at number 2. Obviously, you got a lot of core players coming back. You've got to be excited about your prospects next season.
Yeah, this team, if we can keep everything together, this team's going to be unbelievable. The core group has 2-3 years left. Craig Pond 3, Jamie Flores 4, Rory Glaves 2, Greg Flores 1, Danny Bowman. It's going to be a great team again next year.
Don, your coaching staff, Steve Fennell, Les Bartley, and yourself did a phenomenal job. Again, congratulations. Well earned.
Thank you.
Don Smith, the head coach of the A's, what a job he did. Great strategy. We saw it throughout the series from St. Catharines. That has a lot to play in why the St. Catharines Athletics are Minto Cup champions in 2001. And right here, this is the biggest reason. The MVP of the 2001 Minto Cup, number 48. It's showtime for Matt Vince. Vino, what a series. What's going through your head right now? Biggest night of your life?
Oh, for sure. It's kind of hard to believe we actually came through and through the season and won the Minto Cup. It's a lifelong dream, and I don't actually think it's sunk in yet. It's kind of like a surreal moment right now.
Compare the way you felt after the loss in game number 2, a game you could have very easily win, to the way you feel right now. Obviously, they're very contrasting emotions.
Oh, for sure. After game 2, everybody started doubting themselves, but we came through one game at a time, plugged through the whole series, and now we end up at Minto Cup champions.
And I know you're going to give a plug to your teammates for the outstanding defense they played.
Oh, for sure. We got the top defense in the league. Everybody worked hard. They bought into the system. I've never seen a bunch of guys work so hard in our own zone, working for every loose ball, and it shows on the scoreboard tonight.
Matt, an unbelievable series, a great game tonight to wrap it up. Congratulations on the MVP.
Thank you very much.
Matty Vince is the Minto Cup MVP in 2001. We're going to bring in a big guy now, Pierre Contouris. And Pierre, you put so much heart and so much emotion into the St. Catharines Club as the president. Explain to us the way you feel right now. You have to be so proud.
Well, how can you explain how you feel? You just win a Canadian championship. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic for a bunch of young men that are going to have this is one of the best experiences that they'll ever have in their lives. Certainly one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my lives. I can't say enough of the boys. I can't say enough of their character. Coming back from 2 games down, I can't say enough for our volunteers, for our organization, for our general manager, who's the backbone of this club. He makes my job very easy, and I'll tell you, it's just when I sit down and think of things, sometimes I just shake my head. Putting an event like this together, slapping it together within a week. And the number of volunteers, the number of people that have come out and said, let me help, how can we help? It's been incredible. I'm proud of this organization, I'm proud of this community, and especially I'm proud of those boys out there right now.
And this night wouldn't be what it is without these fans. 3,500 plus tonight in the Jack Gatecliff, unbelievable.
The 7th man, made the difference tonight. You know what? Our boys play for the fans, they always have. I've always said that in any speech I ever make, as far as our boys are concerned, it's always about the fans. And you know what? And they showed up tonight, and they didn't let us down. They were incredible. And tonight, you know what? I think we owe this win to the fans. They pulled us through.
Pierre, again, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thanks, Wilsey.
Pierre Contouris, the president of the St. Catharines Athletics. He must be a very proud man, almost like a proud papa, a new papa tonight. He is the Minto Cup champion for 2001. Here's my buddy, Andrew McKay. A season, our first season of lacrosse together, Andrew. What a year it's been. I remember our first game. We said, St. Catharines, they're the favorites to win the Minto Cup. There were some bumps along the road where we questioned that theory, but here we are, the end of 2001, and St. Catharines are Minto Cup champions.
I remember that first game too, because you kept using hockey terms and talking about what hockey teams they played on. Obviously, we're all proud of these guys, the entire city of St. Catharines is. I'm proud of you too. You picked up this sport pretty well, but I think what they showed out tonight, this was their best game of the season, I think, for the way that they went and they played along, and I think they saved it for the right time. I'm going to get out of the way here. We're going to bring Dan Bowman in because he's a lot more important right now than I am.
St. Catharines, we talked about the 5-captain system. Here is the main guy, the captain of the team, number 11, Dan Bowman. Dan, you are a prototypical leader. You led these guys in the battle, especially after game number 2, which was a tough loss for you. Explain to me what turned things around.
Well, after game 2, we felt that we really outplayed them those 2 games, so there was no point in us hanging our heads or getting down on ourselves. All we did is, the best thing that we did, he wants to take it for a little run, so let him take it. All we did was stop, refocus. Actually, we went out that night and just forgot about lacrosse. The next day we had a barbecue over at my house and went to a movie. All we did is not think about lacrosse, and we came to game 3 refresh, and just we went from wanting to win from we're going to win. That was really the mental focus, and that's really what it came down to.
I give a lot of staff to not only the team leaders such as yourself, but also to the coaching staff, because instead of panicking after game 2, they realized you guys just needed to get your heads away from that, even for just a day. They said, guys, go loosen up, go have a day to yourselves, get refocused for game number 3. That's what you did. Maybe that's what turned the series around.
That's right. Well, our coaches, when we came into game 3, they told me, they brought the other assistants together and they said, we're going to win. They told their whole team, we are going to win. And there was just no second guessing. That's just what we were going to do. And we got into our minds and we went out there and we won. And then we won next game.
4 straight. Absolutely unbelievable. Keep in mind, you guys are playing 6-time Minto Cup finalists in a row and the defending champions. For you guys to pull off 4 straight after losing the first 2 is absolutely miraculous.
Well, the players we have on our team are just unbelievable. The heart, the desire, the passion to play the game. It's just great to watch, to be honest with you. Some of these guys on our team, everybody's a top-class leader, and that's why we won.
Dan, you're the leader and you're the warrior for this team. Congratulations again. Go ahead and celebrate a bit with the guys.
Thank you, Derek.
We're going to bring Rory Glaves in now, and you talk about a guy who really had to suck it up. He got slashed viciously last night, but Rory, it's got to all feel better right now, doesn't it?
Oh, I mean, it feels great. I mean, I never won a Canadian championship before, let alone even an Ontario championship. But I mean, it hasn't really sunk in yet. But I mean, it just feels great. We're going to go out today and have a great time.
You certainly are, and this is a night, isn't it, that you're going to be able to talk about and remember and reminisce about for the rest of your life. This isn't just a one-night thing. This is something that's going to last forever.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this team's unbelievable, and the guys are great. The coaching staff is even more unbelievable. And, you know, we love each other. We're a family, and we go out there at shows. And, I mean, this team's never going to be together, so we're just going to go out tonight and just, I mean, enjoy it. You know, we're going to enjoy it tomorrow and the next day. We're just going to, you know, and this is unbelievable. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's awesome.
You and I spoke off camera after game number 3. It was the first victory of the 2001 Minto Cup for the A's, but the confidence of yourself and your teammates was absolutely unbelievable. What gave you the confidence heading into game number 3 to get you on this roll where you had winning 4 straight?
You know, I think a big thing was, though, as individuals as well as teams, as a team, we decided that we were going to win. I mean, in the first 2 games, I think that we were worried about, you know, coming in and worried about making the mistakes. And because it's the Minto Cup, you've never been in it before. But in game 3, the first thing our coach said to us was, we were going to win the game tonight. And that's been our mentality throughout the rest of the series.
Rory, unbelievable performance. One of the top defensive players on the floor throughout this series. Again, congratulations, your first ever Canadian championship.
Thanks a lot, Derek.
Enjoy it. Rory Glaves, an unbelievable performance tonight. And I'll tell you what, guys like Rory Glaves are the reason St. Catharines is Minto Cup champions in 2001. And guys like this, my buddy Andrew McKay and my buddy Chris Trennan, are the reason we were able to bring you all these games all season long right here on Cogeco TV 10. Now, guys, we'll start from the beginning. Our first year doing lacrosse together, I'm sure the first of many, and we had an absolute blast. We didn't know each other very well at the beginning of the year, but now we're pretty good friends. And Andrew, I'll start with you. Look back to day number 1 of the season and forecast what would happen, but it did happen. St. Catharines, as predicted, national champions.
Well, I had a pretty good feeling coming into this season that this was the best team in the country. Now, having been said, I hadn't seen a lot of BC players show up. I'd seen guys from BC come to Ontario, but I hadn't seen a lot of BC teams. So I'd seen Burnaby in '99 in that Minto Cup, and I thought this team matched up well. I will say, before it sounds like I'm a psychic, this is a completely different St. Catharines team that won. I thought they were going to win on offense with Matt Vince saving their bacon on the back end while Sean Greenall and Craig Conn ran around like chickens with their heads cut off on the offensive end. It ended up being the exact opposite, where they pitched in when they needed to on offense with the key goals, and it was the defense, players like John Donnelly and Rory Glaves, who carried them to this win tonight.
And Chris, you've been the target of Andrew and I all season long. We've had lots of fun with you, but I remember at the beginning of the year, and you, having spent more time with this team than any of us, said, these guys have what it takes to win a Minto Cup, and you were right.
I think they definitely proved it tonight. I mean, as was said earlier, there were bumps in the road, but this team had championship written all over them. They persevered, they got through it, and to lose one game in 3 rounds in the Ontario playoffs and 3 games throughout the playoffs, that just proves what kind of champions they are and what the rest of Canada can expect next year.
You mentioned next year. We don't want to lose sight of what's happened here tonight with St. Catharines winning their 6th National Junior A Lacrosse Championship, but what we are going to do is look ahead a little bit, because the core group of players for the A's will be returning not only next year, but the year after that. Andrew, this is a team that could rattle off 3 in a row.
I'm going to turn the tables on you here a bit. Beginning of the season, you asked me and Chris what we thought while you were trying to figure out this thing. As you know, eternally optimistic, my season with the Beaches started about 10 minutes ago. So I'm not going to make any St. Catharines predictions. However, you've been around it for a year. I'd like, now that you've got a year of experience, I'd like you to tell us what you think.
What I think is that this team, a bunch of 17-year-olds really as the core players, so much talent, so much heart, and so much discipline. That's the main one, the discipline. Craig Conn, as a 17-year-old, was the target of every single one of those Burnaby Lakers during this 6-game series. He didn't react the way we thought he might. He reacted as a mature 17-year-old, more than you could have ever asked from Craig Conn. I can only imagine what guys like Conn, Greenhall, and Vince are going to be like 18-year-olds, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. I predict they're going to rattle off 2 in a row. I won't tell you about 3 in a row until after next season, but I think St. Catharines and their chances for 2 Minto Cups consecutively are certainly very good. Well, it has been just an absolutely amazing season here of St. Catharines Junior A Athletics Lacrosse here on Cogeco TV 10. There are so many people we want to thank. We don't want to name names really, because I'm afraid we're going to leave somebody out, but we'll start at the top. The station manager, Joanne Tweeney. Without her, this could not have been possible. Our executive producer, Daryl Day, he did a great job, especially here in the Minto Cup, organizing everything, making sure everything was ready for us to go live for the last 6 games. Daryl, great job. Our producer, John Benedicti. I have worked with John for the last 6 years, guys, on Junior B hockey and now for lacrosse. John is a guy who has so much love for the sport of lacrosse and for the sport of hockey that he comes out night after night, fights through the weather, fights through the conditions, fights through the heat that we had to put up with all season in our Easy Bake Oven over at the Bill Burgoyne to get these broadcasts on the air. So a big thank you goes out to John and the rest of our broadcast crew here at Cogeco TV 10. Amazing job, guys. You made this very pleasurable for all of our viewers, and you made it very easy on Andrew, Chris, and myself. So again, a big thanks going out to the entire Cogeco TV 10 broadcast crew. 2 more thank yous before we let you go. Number 1, the St. Catharines Athletics. This is a Class 1 organization. It starts at the top with Pierre Contouris, Bob Louie, the coaching staff, and the players especially. They made our job so very easy and so enjoyable, and this job ends with the national championship here in 2001. And our final thanks goes out to the viewers, you at home who tuned in all season long to St. Catharines Junior A Lacrosse here on Cogeco TV 10. We look forward to bringing you another exciting season coming up in 2002. Hopefully it ends the same way. That way is with the St. Catharines victory in the Minto Cup. They win the best of 7 series, winning 4 straight games, 4 games to 2, and for the first time since 1991, St. Catharines are national champions. For the entire broadcast crew here at Cogeco TV 10. Steve Fidel knows they won. They're going to go celebrate. So are we. So for the entire crew here at Cogeco TV 10, including Chris Drennan and Andrew McKay, as well our producer John Benedicti, I'm Derek Wills. Until next season, good night, everybody.
Thank you very much, guys, for all your hard work.